pick up the damn phone. I've been trying to get a hold of you forever to record this episode 11. And then I find out you have a new crew and 39 more episodes? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? I'm done.
On tonight's 50th episode of the Gamecasters, we talk about all the games we've been playing recently. We have a couple surprises for you. We play a new game with some new friends, and then we end the show with our top 10 games, 50 to 59. Stay tuned. In the town where I was born lived a man who was named me, and he started a podcast with Jeff and Natalie. So we tried to be wholesome, but eventually became obscene. I won't stop, you can't make me. Made it this far, number 50. Welcome everybody now to episode 50. Episode 50. Episode 50. This probably won't be the last song I sing in episode 50. Episode 50.
It won't?
I play games to blow off steam, then hope Natalie will blow bubbles.
Oh
all you guys who are listening mean the world to us here at 50. Welcome everybody now to episode 50. Episode 50. Episode 50. This probably won't be the last song I sing in episode 50. Episode 50. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
The
you. Thank you.
Beatles.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thanks. You know that song, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
Episode 50. I had to think of something that rhymed. Well, hello.
That was adorable.
There.
Natalie's crying
gamers.
again.
I did hear her say that. She was like, oh boy. Oh boy. That's what I live for. It's that. I live for that and her putting her heads in her hands like King's Dilemma.
Brother.
Which I
Yeah.
hope to achieve in the next part here. So, well, hello there, gamers, and welcome to the Gamecasters episode 50 extravaganza. We have an incredibly great show lined up for you all today, jam-packed full of so much content that we had to go down to City Hall and pull permits for what's about to happen. We had to take out special event insurance for the mayhem that's about to spew forth from your speakers. We had to politely ask our neighbors if we could borrow some sugar for the cookies we were going to have to send them tomorrow to apologize for the debauchery that's about to go down today. Natalie and I were up all night working hard to make sure her flatulence explode like fireworks on the 4th of July. Jeff has been handing out flyers all week that say nothing other than a phone number of a support group you can call after you listen to this episode, as simply put, you will need therapy. Have I sufficiently overhyped this yet? No? Well, then get ready for your ears to experience a sensation that only genitals were biologically made to feel, because this episode is going to take you on a ride through the spectrum of human emotion, which can only be categorized as the single greatest auditory signal your brainwaves have ever encountered. Episode 50. So, what's been happening, you guys?
I told you not to talk about me farting anymore. Didn't I tell you?
He did it
Don't
again.
say
Yeah,
that
but you know what happens when someone tells you not to do something?
Yeah.
The one thing you want to do
All
more
you
than
wanna
anything
do.
in the
Don't push
world
that
is
button.
that. Yep.
Well,
exactly. I don't
I'm gonna.
want- oh. Don't open the box. What's in the box?
So
What's in the box?
did you guys have a conversation about it after, like,
Yes.
a serious one? Like, listen,
Well,
Ryan,
Oh, yeah.
stop it.
It was always veiled with like laughter, but there was also a fist
Yeah,
in
it
my
wasn't a
face.
serious conversation. I can't remember. I said something about it
serious.
where I was like, I think he's going to get the hint that I don't want him to do.
Oh, I got the hint.
Get the
already.
hint, pal.
I got the hint,
He's
which
like-
is why you may see Natalie's flatulence peppered and exploding throughout this episode.
You're like, F that hint.
Or a brand new song about Natalie's
You
flatulence.
never know. Can you guys believe that we're here at
Oh,
episode
don't give him
50?
ideas.
Man, I only feel like it's 25 episodes.
Yeah, I only feel like I've been on like 39,
Yeah.
38 maybe.
They feel young still.
Well, I was talking to myself, I guess, mostly.
Yeah.
I've been so excited for this episode and, like, so nervous for it, kind of, at the same time. I mean, 50 episodes is huge. So, like, like with this current group, like Jeff just said, it's really the 25th episode extravaganza, which isn't quite as like milestone-y. So we'll just pretend like you guys were here with me since the beginning.
Yeah.
It's still pretty cool.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah, sorry, Jeremy.
We love you, man.
It's an excuse to celebrate and, come up with new ideas.
Wait, what? Are we stale? Or is that what you're saying? We need new ideas to come
do
up
something
with?
like special,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. This episode's going to be so good that 51 is really going to suck.
I know.
51 is going to be a huge letdown.
I'm so sorry, episode 51.
Yeah, we're apologizing to future episode 51.
The games that we have to talk about, I was like, we better play some good stuff next time. Because
Crap, I didn't consider that. This can't be the bar for all of them.
It's going to be rough.
What if someone listens to this episode first and they're like, this is the greatest show?
And then afterwards like,
there's
ooh.
music, there's farting, there's... Oh, wow. And then episode 51's like, so I played Carcassonne again.
You play Carcassonne? What about Catan? You ever played those things?
So what's up, Jeff?
man.
What's up with you?
Well, it started back at school.
Yeah, that's right. School started.
So, yep, I've been working at school, but teaching remotely. So my students are on Zoom, and I have to teach them through the computer, which is just so weird.
Yeah.
And I've really never thought that I would experience something like this.
So let me ask you this. You're at school,
yes,
but
by
teaching
yourself?
remotely. Why do you have to be at school for that?
So in the future, I can be there 3 or 4 days a week if I want to. So I can kind of plan a schedule out. But
Sure.
I think it's a combination of one, slight micromanaging on the side of the administration, wanting to know that we're in the building and doing the work that we're supposed to be doing at the right
Really?
time.
Well,
so I get
guess
that.
that makes sense because then they can feel confident they can tell the parents.
Yes,
or the school board.
There is some things of like I need to be doing my job. I can't be at home and post something and then sit around and play Netflix or play video games or watch Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
And the other part is that we also want to portray that we're in school, and when we can get back in school, that it's safe for us to be there and we're there. And,
I've been here the whole time.
So I live here.
It's crazy that they issued that mandatory you must live there. At school.
Yeah, it's very strange. I have like a
here we
Murphy
are,
bed.
broadcasting live from Rickford Thurston.
Yeah.
Are you in your own classroom?
Yes,
by
I'm in my
yourself?
classroom all day by
So
myself.
you can just you don't get to wear a mask everywhere but your classroom?
Yeah, so when I get in my room, if I'm by myself in my room, I can take my mask off.
And
If I
the
have
rest
to
of your
go to
clothes, or do you have to leave your clothes on?
Well, I'm on Zoom,
Not pants.
so
Oh, that's true. He doesn't even wear pants at school.
Yeah, no one sees that.
But if I go to
be from the
like,
neck
if I
up.
have to go to the front office or I have to go to the bathroom or something, I have to put my mask on and
Right.
go out. Or if I have a meeting, we sit like at opposite corners of a room.
Wow.
It's very weird.
Yeah, that's.
I just
weird. You hate it?
Yeah, I miss. What's weird is I miss my students annoying me. I miss my students like getting lost in the hallway and forgetting their locker combination. I miss all that kind of
The good
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, because now I'm just talking to a bunch of squares on
Yeah,
Zoom.
you didn't go
and
into
it's
teaching
sad.
to be sitting in a room by yourself.
Yeah.
Right,
With no pants on.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been really the last 2 weeks of professional development and school starting is really all I've been doing.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
Natalie, what's going on with you?
Crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Just playing games,
Golfing.
golfing.
God, you're like a rich person.
Yeah,
Just playing games and
She's
golfing.
OP.
I actually
Oh, I
haven't
went to the
golfed
business
in like
golf
3
meeting.
weeks.
Oh, excuse me. Wow. So our 50th episode. So the 50th episode, it's not the only milestone the show has achieved. We also just crossed over the 10,000 download milestone, which I realize in comparison to some other shows is probably not very much. But what you have to remember is the first 12 or 13 episodes were not promoted at all, and really were just me and Jeremy goofing around. You know what I mean? We had just about 1,000 total downloads across those first 13 or 12 episodes. It wasn't until I started the show back up with Natalie that we started to actually kind of really grow.
Right,
and
because
certainly now the addition of the Mad Board Gamer.
Right. And we didn't even start like an Instagram account until you and me started up. So like those first ones.
Yeah, it was just kind of like
word of mouth
whoever
with your
could
friends
hear.
or whatever.
If you happen to be on Podbean today and you want to go to a gaming podcast.
Right.
So since Jeff joined, we've just been steadily climbing and climbing. So really these 10,000 downloads are basically since April of 2019. Even though the podcast really started in 2016. But really, I would say if we had to start the day of like when the podcast actually officially started, if we can just kind of completely kill Jeremy at this point, it started April of 2019, which is just over a year and a half. So I'm really incredibly proud of the three of us. I think we should go out on top like Seinfeld and just quit after this one.
Shut it down. Go to jail.
I mean, we're number 11 in the Philippines. Where are we going to go from here?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
We're probably in the top 500 or so in the U.S. So what
we're competing against, there's some... there's a ton of board game podcasts.
Right.
So we obviously love our listeners and appreciate everybody for listening. And we're competing with some people that have been around a long time and are like the Secret Cabal, and I'm not going to tell you other ones to listen to. Never mind.
They're all mediocre baloney.
Yeah,
anyway. Just
we're the
know
best.
who they are.
Yeah.
You knew first, whoever's listening.
Exactly. So seriously, thank you to everyone who's been listening all along, and thank you so much to all of you who are listening to this episode for the first time in like 2021 or 2022. You also mean the world to us, future listener. This show's been a vehicle for us to meet and befriend so many wonderful people, and some of them even unwillingly sent us some messages that I'm going to pepper in throughout the show when I most feel like making myself feel good, like this one.
Well, hello there, gamers, and welcome back for another episode of the Gamecasters podcast. In this episode, I'll fangirl over Ben and M from Date Night Dice. Natalie will try to explain a game we played but fail miserably, and Jeff will share your thoughts, dear listeners, because they're better than his own. We'll also do another top 5, even though they always end up the same, with Vital Lacerda games and jokes about Natalie's boy. Barely newer?
Hey Gamecasters, I'm Nelson.
I'm Dalton.
We are the co-hosts for the Fantasy and Some Flights podcast.
And we just wanted to say congratulations on your 50th episode.
Cheers!
Ryan, Natalie, Jeff, congratulations on reaching 50 episodes. I look forward to every show. It's like listening to mates. You guys are so funny. You know so much about games. You've helped me in my collection a ton. I look forward to the next 50. Congrats.
Hello everyone, this is MC Dave MC. I just wanted to wish congratulations to the Gamecasters on 50 episodes. Gamecasters is without a doubt the greatest board gaming related podcast in all of Western Central Oakland County, Michigan. On a personal note, ever since we had that random encounter in the hallway outside of Grand Con and the great weekend full of games after that, you guys have been part of the group and part of the family, and continue on the good work.
Oh, and out of all the personalities in the board game industry, I would definitely fuck Rodney Smith. He'd be gentle and kind, let's be honest. I would definitely kill the shut up and sit down guys because of what they said about Wingspan. And I would marry you guys. I think we would have a lovely life together.
If you love the show, if you even kind of like us, please consider rating us over on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen that allows you to rate us. It really helps the legitimacy of our show for new people who have never heard of us to see reviews and ratings. If you want to just keep us to yourselves like some local band that you don't want to sell out, then please just listen and do nothing, and then we will do nothing, and then our life force will drain faster than my brain thinking about intercourse, and we will be reduced to empty husks of human beings, but at least we'll be your empty husks. So thank you. So we've been playing a lot of games lately, you guys.
Yep.
I mean, so I talked about my libido. It was like my libido was a kinked hose.
Yeah,
and
then
then
a month ago, right?
Yeah, and then I talked about it.
Ago.
Can I just say, it was
here we go.
Yep.
the last episode we recorded. Was it the last one?
No, it was 2. I think it was 2 ago.
2 episodes ago.
2 ago when
whatever
the
episode it
admission
was.
happened.
Maybe I said this last episode, and if I'm repeating myself, who cares? But it was literally like the day after we recorded it, and he told the world that his libido was
Told the world.
Told the world.
He was like, bloop, I'm back.
It was like
buy
an
100
unkinked hose.
games.
It was like when I
Play
did that,
games
that
every
like
day.
unkinked the hose and
Yeah.
the blood rushed forth into my gaming libido.
Yeah.
right into the libido.
But
Well,
I mean,
and Ryan, so it was recently Ryan's birthday.
Yep.
Right.
So happy birthday. Thank you
very much.
As you're getting some good games recently.
True. Very true.
Design-a-thon that we'll talk about shortly.
Yep,
We
spoiler alert.
had Ryan's birthday.
We had it.
So he got
Lots of new games.
yeah,
Lots of
he
new
got like
games.
3 or 4 games from that, and then he just decided to buy himself another like 3 or 4
Good.
games too
The
in
libido.
1 week.
Unkinked
Yeah,
hose.
Like one day
man.
the box-
This man is an unkinked
Yeah.
hose.
I'm an unkinked hose.
So now he's got all these new games
Man,
from
all of
the
your
last
hoses
like
become
week
unkinked.
or two, and he's like, I don't have anywhere to put these.
Well, and you guys are doing an awesome job of playing new games and games that you love.
Right.
And that
Well, we're
is
trying
why
to do
he's
the
an
Natalie
unkinked
thing.
hose.
Yeah, like I said,
Man,
all of your hoses
just a
become
flowing,
unkinked. Oh God, it's a
unkinked
raging,
hose.
flowing, unkinked hose of board gamey viscosity. All right,
where's
so
it going?
the newest game that we've been playing is by the Italian design team Akitaka. Did you know they were called this?
No.
It's this specific. It's comprised of Flaminia Berzini, Virginio Gili, Stefano Luperto, and Antonio Tinto. They're called Akitoka or Akitaka.
Like,
Oh,
the
I wonder what that
group?
means.
That,
you know what
those
that
four
means?
people.
Who are awesome.
Yeah, those games are great. They're responsible for games like Agizia, Leonardo da Vinci, Terra Mara. These 4 specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And Flaminia Brazzini and Virginio Gili specifically have partnered with other designers and come up with other amazing games like Coimbra and this one we're talking about here, Alma Mater. So this newest game that Natalie hates called Nourishing Mother in English, or Alma Mater.
I hate it. That's all he kept saying. He's like, would you like to go play Nourishing Mother now? And
well,
I'm
here's
like,
why.
Stop calling it that.
So when I was in court reporting school, there was a medical class, or a Latin class that we had to take that had a lot of medical terminology stuff is rooted in Latin. Mm-hmm. And so one of the phrases we were writing was alma mater. And the professor was like, do you guys know alma mater? It means nourishing mother. In English, so like you're going back to your alma mater, your school. You're going back to your nourishing mother.
My future wife, when we happen to play a game called Alma Mater, I'm just going to call it Nourishing Mother.
Well, it's one of those
to annoy her
that just sticks into your brain that you can't not talk about. I mean, that's an interesting factoid.
Yeah, but you didn't just say, "Oh, listen to this fact," but you did. But then you just continued to call the game that over and over and over, even though I said, please don't call
over and over.
In this game of Natalie's ire and contempt, you are taking your workers to place to the board to take actions. These actions need books to recruit professors and students into the utter disgust of Natalie. The books are so cool. They're like 3D plastic models of books. And other than the fact that Natalie wanted to end her life in a Hiri-Kiri-like suicidal rage, it was really cool to handle them.
They were very cool books.
Oh my gosh, they're so cool.
The books were my favorite.
What are they made? I don't know. Are they just plastic?
They look awesome. I haven't seen it or haven't played it. But they look really
cool. Just handle them in your little finger pads, and you'll see what they're like.
Your little finger pads,
right there in my pads.
So you use these books for everything, like placing them on your bookshelf, where they can either be bought by the other game-hating players, or else they will earn you money as income in the next round. Or you can keep them in your storage to be used as resources to spend to recruit students and professors. And also you can spend them to activate powers on already acquired professors. The more students and professors you accumulate, the more points you get and the stronger you become. So if you fall behind in either of these two areas, it can be difficult really to climb back up, as Natalie will tell you after she stops screaming. The game takes 6 rounds, and each round you take turns placing your workers to recruit students, professors, gain money, buy books from your opponents, and activate specific students. You can also spend a book on a professor card that's already in your tableau to perform what's called a lecture, which is basically taking the action of the card. You go back and forth performing actions until each of you pass, at which point you have a cleanup phase. You collect your income for the next round, and then you do it all over again until the end of the 6th round, at which point you perform final scoring and see who won. There are a lot of ways to get points in this one, and the majority of them revolve around students and professors, right? And these chancellors, and then how far you are up this like research track. So things I liked. Okay. My favorite thing about this game is how pretty much everything you acquire gives you like an ability or a benefit or a power. I love so much extra, like having a power in a game that kind of breaks the rules.
Me too.
It's like one of my favorite things in the world, especially when it's not like, okay, so Cosmic Encounter is one of my favorite games of all time because of that reason. It gives you this power that breaks the game. Now, that probably breaks the game a little too far sometimes.
In a silly way.
Yeah, in a goofy, silly way. And so that's kind of an extreme case. But so this is kind of a way in a Euro game that it gives me that feeling where I'm kind of breaking the rules and doing something outside the normal. And that just feels cool. Breaking rules is always really awesome to do in life. You know what I mean? It gives you that rush. And so this is kind of a way that it always speaks to me in that way, when you can break a rule or get a benefit or a power. So you start the game with a very souped up already game-breaking power, kind of like in Marco Polo, and you can collect up to 3 more of those game-breaking cards throughout the game. Every professor you collect gives you a power. Every student you accumulate gives you a benefit. Every milestone you reach on this research track thing gives you another benefit. Some people get a little upset, though, about games like this where you have powers that others like don't. And I can understand that. Your power is so awesome and I'll never have access to it. This game doesn't work that way. So we all, other than the starting card you get, that's the only card in the entire game that I will get that your opponent does not have access to. Every other power, like the students and the professors, there's one for each of you. So if I get to a spot before you to get this one professor, there's still that same professor for you to get later if you want to. Same with all the students that you can get that give you powers. So if we play a 3-player game, there'd be 3 of each, so we could all get one. So I like that. So it doesn't feel imbalanced in that way, where it could otherwise, if someone has this really crazy good, string together power of cards that I'll just never get, and you just lucked into it. It doesn't happen that way. There's no randomness in that way. The variability is really high. Now, the students are the same in every game, but the professors and chancellors are taken from a pool, and it will keep the game replayable for a while, I think. So I think, but honestly, you could probably play the game with the same set of stuff multiple times, and I don't think it would feel samey, because the game is really difficult to grok.
Grok.
Yeah, Grakas Dukakas. In a 2-player game, there's a dummy player, which originally I was really upset by.
Yeah,
I saw that, and I didn't know that before I bought it, and then I got it, and I was reading the rules, and I was like, no! It just never works really. So I tend to just hate that. But however, in this one, it really wasn't that bad, as mostly it just serves to block action spaces on the board. And the cool thing about this is it's a worker placement game, but it's got that keyflower mechanism where you can't really block the space. So if I go to a spot with a worker, you can go there if you put 2 workers down. Okay. And then the next person go there if they put 3 workers down. Now I think that's capped at Keyflower. It's 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
But in this game, if the 4th player has 4, they can spend 4. It's always 1 more than the highest number of meeples that is on that space. So you can never really get blocked. So really, all that dummy player is doing is just kind of bumming you out a little bit, which is just simulating the more players kind of thing. So I did not find the dummy player to be a detriment at all. I thought it was okay. Natalie might have a different opinion. Okay, so things I didn't like. Natalie hated it. Okay, and I can see why. No, I'm not trying to be funny. I can see why you did not have a good play. Her play was very challenging. She felt very stymied the entire play. I'm gonna let you talk. All right. And had that happened to me the way it happened to her, I think I would have felt just as upset, and I might have a different reaction than I'm having right now. I don't know if I lucked into a good play or if she lucked into a bad one, but the fact that it happened to her was enough to give me pause about just heaping nothing but praise on it, which is what I want to do. And so I also spoke with Sam from the McMeeples Instagram account, and he has been looking forward to this game for a long time.
He has been, yeah.
Yeah, he found out that we got it, and he was really excited to hear this, and so he played it right after we did, and the same exact thing happened to him. He was the Natalie role, so I'm just going to say it. I won by like 40 points, okay?
And Michaela kicked Sam's butt,
and Michaela,
right? Same thing
it was
with
the exact, we almost had identical scores. I was in the 90s, Michaela was in the 90s, Natalie was in like the 50s or 60s, and so was Sam.
50s, yeah.
And so, and I asked him, like, what'd you think? He's like, well, Michaela was just killing it. But me, he's like, I made a couple mistakes early on, and I felt like I was doomed.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So it's going to take another play or two to see if that keeps happening, or if this is just such a hard game that your first play is easy to go that way. So now we only played this one time, so take that for what it's worth. I think, personally, I had a ton of fun with this game because, things kind of worked out in my favor. I felt like I needed to do something. I took action. I enacted the plan. I got what I needed, and I got it done. And I felt like that wasn't able to happen as much with Natalie. Overall, I enjoyed it, and I would love to play it more, but I want to hear, Natalie, what you thought.
Well, like Ryan said.
I want to hear, too.
I had a rough play. It was tough. I did get very frustrated.
Well, wait, was it rough or tough?
It was
rough
both.
and tough.
Oh my gosh, rough and tough.
It was tough, and it was like rough, like I
no
wanted
lubricant.
To throw something.
Yeah,
man, like the game. Did you want to just leave?
Yeah.
Was there a point in the game where you were just like, I just want to stop?
I could see it on her face.
I think Ryan was like, "Do you want to just stop?" And I was like, "No." It wasn't so bad that I was like, "Get this game out of my face" or anything.
Plus, it's one of those things where you almost feel worse, like because you probably did want to stop, but if you actually stop, you're probably like, God.
I mean,
what a baby.
I shouldn't do that.
But so I kept feeling like I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do because I was being blocked. Because like Ryan said, there was this dummy player. And so I felt like every time I'd gather enough books to do something, the dummy player is in that spot,
Freaking
or
dummy.
Ryan took that
Stupid
spot.
dummy.
And like Ryan said, I
dummy.
could go there and put 2 meeples on that spot to take that same action. But the problem was I only had 4 meeples. And so to me, and maybe this was a mistake, I'm not sure, but maybe I should have just like done that to get myself in a better position.
Yeah, but it seemed
But it
inefficient
also
enough
felt
to you.
like, to have a whole, out of 4 turns, to have a whole turn less than you, seemed like that wasn't worth it to me.
Yeah.
So then, I only had enough stuff to do this one thing that I couldn't do. So then I don't want to waste my turns. So I would just use it for something else.
And now those resources are gone.
Right. Now those resources are gone. And now I can't, it's going to take me too long, or it just never worked out that I got to go back and do that thing that I was like building up and planning to do.
Yes.
Ryan was getting like professor after professor. And what he didn't really like say in the description of the game was when somebody gets a professor first, they kind of set the price. And of course, he sets the price at the books that he can get easier. And so then I have to pay the books that he set the price at, those colors. And so those are harder for me to get because, of course, he's going to pay, like the most books with
real
his
quick.
own
Can
color.
I speak to that real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what she's talking about is when you recruit a professor in the game, you have a color of book that is inherent to you. So I'm the black player, so the black books are my books, and they're easiest for me to get. Natalie was the green player. The green books were easiest for her to get. The dummy player was the red player.
Yeah.
They were, so you have to get everyone else's color books to get these professors and stuff. And so you're going to your opponents and purchasing books from them, and it costs money, and you have to pay that money to them. Right. So then when you go to recruit a professor, their professor will say, okay, this costs 3 of one color book, 2 of another color, and 1 of another color. And so when I go take the professor, I'm going to put 3 books of black because it's easiest for me, and it's going to be hardest for my opponents to do that.
Right, and not only is it going to be harder for me, I'm going to have to pay him money. Like if I need 4 books, there's a spot that you can get books that is not paying your opponent, but it is so much cheaper and more efficient to just pay your opponent because you can like get like pay all this money to get like 1 book of any color.
And you get victory points potentially too.
Yeah,
for doing
right. That. Yeah, exactly. But if you pay your opponent, you can pay a cheaper amount to get more books and get victory points. So you're like helping them, but you're also kind of helping yourself too.
Yep.
Anyway, so that happened a lot where I couldn't like really afford the professor. So he's racking up all these professors. I wasn't getting any. The professors also have points, and on top of points, they give you benefits.
Professor.
And then, there was that track on the side too, where I felt like, okay, well, he's got me there, but I'm kind of like moving up this track at a good pace, still behind the stupid dummy player. But I was like ahead of Ryan, and then all of a sudden he was just like, everything was like
clicking.
Yeah, clicking for you. Because all of a sudden he passes me on this track. He's getting all these professors. He's getting all these students.
I'm a popular dude.
And for me, I'm like, I look at my stuff and I'm like, I got nothing here, and I don't really know what to do. And so first I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, I feel like anywhere I want to go, I can't go because it's blocked. Also, it's better for me to like pay you to get, your books and stuff. But at the moment, I'm like, he's just killing it, and now I'm just going to give him more money. I don't want to do that, So I had that feeling like, oh, that's aggravating. And the only thing that I was doing well was I had this card that I think it was my beginning power that basically like doubled my income.
Yeah, those powers are very strong.
And so I had a lot of money all the time.
Alma mater. This is alma mater.
Yeah,
alma mater.
Because I had income.
Nourishing mother.
Double the amount of income, but that was bad for me, I think, in the end, because I never went to the spot where you get money on the board because I always had plenty of money.
And that's the spot is where you go first.
Yeah, is that the spot? That's how you get first player. So I was never first player, so I couldn't get the spots I wanted first because I had to go to that spot. But that would be like a waste of my 4 actions.
Sure.
Because I have plenty of money.
And you can get more workers. There's 3 different ways to get more workers. One is just crossing a point threshold. One of them is acquiring enough students, and one of them is acquiring a certain chancellor card by just triggering it. So there are ways to get additional workers.
Right. And I think I only got one additional one.
But I think you're right. I think one of the things that hurt you the most that we didn't realize until toward the end was I was going first every round. Yeah. And a lot of those rounds, I would go the exact spot, and she'd be like, God damn it. Right. If it wasn't me there, the dummy player is there. Because the dummy player puts his pawns out before we even do anything.
Right.
So there's 3 spots on the board already taken up, and then I get to go first.
Right.
So she's going essentially last every single turn.
Yeah.
And I think honestly that's one of the biggest things that hurt you.
So yeah, I was a little bit bummed about the end of that play, and I wasn't sure what I did wrong. A lot of plays you're like, oh man, like I see what Ryan did and that's what I should have done, so next time I'm gonna do that. But I was like, I don't know what I could have done better. I don't really know why I was doing so bad.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling.
And so but having said all that,
Still
I do want to give
You're a couple days removed.
Yeah. I do want to give it another chance. Like, if that exact thing happens again, I might be done with that game. But I also want to be like, maybe that was a fluke.
Sure.
Maybe that was a learning game. Maybe I didn't really like get it.
It just sucks when you get
a good mentality.
Beat down that hard.
Yeah.
Was it about 2 hours?
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But still, two hours when you're getting your butt kicked feels like it's an eternity, and you know you're going to lose. You know that you're struggling. You know that every turn you make, every spot you make or choice that you do, it's just like, ugh.
Right, it's just a bummer.
Like, why?
And like,
I'm just chasing.
And then it kills your desire to want to try it again.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I remember my shit experience from the last time.
Yeah,
right.
and then go ahead.
It was okay. And then I remember too, I got a lot of in-game points. And so I was like ahead of you, probably about like 20 points on the track. And so I remember I was like calculating how many points you probably had in professor cars and all that stuff. And I thought like, you're definitely ahead of me, but at least like I'm making up for a lot of that here. And so you're not going to like kill me. And then at the very end, you just shot up and caught up to me. And then obviously had all of the end game stuff. And so that's when the 40-point spread, revealed itself. I was kind of like, oh.
I will say that. I beat her by 40 points.
I probably wouldn't have felt as bad.
It didn't feel to me like I was like curb stomping you or anything like that. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like I was just, this isn't even fun. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything like that. It was just kind of like, oh, I won by a lot. You know what I mean? Like I felt how you were feeling because I've been there a million times.
Right.
And
we've all been there.
Yeah, you just want to get up and run the hell away and never play it again and throw it in the fire.
Yeah.
And what's fun is I talked to both of you guys, and it's so weird. We've all been this thing where, so if you're winning and you're enjoying a game and you're loving it so much, you want to just be like, oh my God, this is so fun. And then you look across the table and the person you're playing against is having a fucking miserable time. And it's like, okay, well, I can't show that much enjoyment because then it's going to look like I'm a jerk and I'm rubbing it in. And then if you're grumpy gamer, you're like, well, I see that this person's having some fun. I don't want to bring it down for. It's just like,
it's
the
almost
whole
like
thing
you can't
stinks.
Control the grumpiness sometimes. Like you're like, I don't want to ruin your play, but my play is so bad. I'm like fuming. Like there's like black stink lines coming.
And you don't just want to like throw off or just like just do stupid stuff because you still want to try to play the game.
It ruins it even more.
Yeah.
It's a hard situation.
Or like like you kind of think like, okay, that sucked. Maybe I'll just move on and recover from it. And then you go I'm like doing all this stuff, and then you're like, I'm gonna go here where I was gonna go on my next turn, and I'm like, God damn it.
And that was the 10th time it happened, and it's just like, that's it.
Can't hold it.
There was one move toward the end. I was like, I'm gonna pass her on this track right now. And she just yelled at me a little bit before for taking her spot.
do I do something else?
Like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
But then I would be
ease up? Do I ease up?
She'd want me to do the best move.
I would. Because you've tried. You're like, I'll just go here. And I was like, no. I was like, play how you would play. I don't want you to like give me any pity moves.
So I got in her face and I was like, in your face.
In your face. Yeah. Alma Mater. I do want to play. Like, I'm excited because the designers are amazing. I don't know. I wonder if one of that crew is the artist because the art looks like Coimbra.
It's definitely the same art. It's even the same universe because there's some art on the cards.
Right?
Yeah, people art on the cards in Coimbra that is, and I don't want to say it's a cop-out, but it's literally the exact image.
I wonder if
on some of the cards.
I wonder if in Coimbra the people that you're recruiting are like in the are they educators or are they in
I don't know.
Scholars in Coimbra?
To me, and I watched a Rado review and he mentioned the same thing. He was like, to me it's just like, hey, it's in the same universe. That's cool. And that's how I felt. I'm like, I don't care. What do I care?
Oh yeah.
It was sweet
though.
Well,
what do you think compared to Coimbra? Obviously, I think Coimbra's
well,
way
let
better,
me tell you this.
Coimbra's awesome.
Let me tell you this. I've had some plays of Coimbra that are like that kind of happened like your play of this. Right. And I think this might speak about your feelings because with me, when I did that terribly, I was like, let's play again right now. I need to not beat you, but I need to like feel like better about myself. We played that game 3 times in a row. You remember that, Coimbra?
I remember.
Until I was like, okay, I finally had a good play. I feel not so terrible about myself. You see the light
of the game.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe you're not feeling that way about Alma Mater. You're more just like, go away from me.
No, I agree with you. I bet you it is a very similar feeling that you have with Coimbra. I remember that. You had like a bad play, then we played again, you had a bad play, and then we played again, and you had a great play. And you were kind of like, all right, I see the good.
Yeah, because to me it was like, okay, it's one of Jeff's favorite games. It's one of your favorite games. I was like, I know I love that first play we had. I loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know there's something in here for me.
Yeah.
But so for me personally, I think I like Alma Mater a little better. And I think the reason is because of what I talked about at the beginning, where I loved it so much with all those everything you do gives you a power.
Yeah.
Everything you get gives you something. And for some reason, and this is just for me personally, Coimbra is hard for me to wrap my head around it. Jeff, I've played this game with Coimbra with Jeff a couple times and with Natalie a couple times, and you guys just seem to kind of understand what to do.
Yeah.
You kind of just get it, right? And I don't, and it's hard work. And Alma Mater, this first play, I kind of felt like, okay, I know, I kind of feel like I know and understand how to do it, and so that kind of pushes over for me. I don't know how it would be. I would wager to guess, Jeff, that you would probably at the end of it say you like Coimbra better. That's just my my guess.
Too. And now that you're saying that, I do kind of feel that way. Like Coimbra, I get it. This one, I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like I don't really get what to do well, and so when I started to not do well, I was like, I'm not sure how to handle this. I'm not sure what to do next. I'm not sure how to recover. And you were just like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I was wham, bam, thank you, bam in it. So that is Alma Mater,
Alma Mater
by the, what did I say the design team was called? Quasimodo? Akitoka. Akitaka.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Acchitocca.
I wonder if did I ask, is that a word or is that like...
It's a word.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I have no idea.
I didn't know if they just took letters from their names, like in sync or something.
Yeah.
Let's see, Flaminio Brasili. That's not in there anywhere.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. We could figure it out at some point, but that's what the design team is called, which is kind of cool. Yeah. That is Alma Mater. Jeff, what do you got for us, my man?
I've played a new game also.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Is it Alma Mater?
It's Alma Mater.
I kind of want to hear you.
So this game is by a group of team called Akarotiri.
That's a good game.
Yeah. Okay. No, this game is called Mariposas.
Why don't you marry it?
And the last thing I wrote on my script for today is Mariposas means butterfly in Spanish. Okay, Mariposas.
And that's all you got to say about that.
Mariposa.
So the designer
Mariposa, not Mariposa.
The designer of Mariposas is Elizabeth Hargrave.
Oh yeah.
Of
Her
Wingspan
number 3
fame.
Design, I think.
Yeah, of Wingspan fame. And so this game had a lot of hype because of Wingspan. So you make a game like Wingspan that is massively popular.
Yeah.
People know who you are.
You're screwed
People
now.
are looking forward
Better make another game.
your next thing. So, what did Elizabeth Hargrave come up with? Tussy Mussy. And then she said, I'm going to make a bigger box game called Mariposas. And because I like butterflies.
Yep, any kind of winged creature. Yeah. I think Elizabeth Hargrave has the
I wonder if the next is like going to be bats.
Yeah, or dragons.
Dragon
flying ants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is another like environmentally conscious game, like true to. So what's cool about Wingspan is you have all these birds and you read about like, oh, the sand crane is native to, you know, you have all these.
Must be that voice too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's how you read things. So in Mariposas, players are controlling butterflies as they make their way through North America. So this is apparently true. I read it in the rule book. There are millions of monarch butterflies that hatch in Mexico and make this trip through North America and reproduce and then come back to Mexico before the end of the year.
Right.
And apparently no butterfly makes that full round trip. So
it's
as they reproduce, so they just like fly around North America and they go back to Mexico.
Yeah.
So the game is played over 3 seasons, spring, summer, and fall. And what you do is you are controlling these butterflies. So you play a card on your turn that dictates how many butterflies can move and how many spaces that these butterflies can move throughout the board. So the board is gorgeous and it's full of a bunch of different hexes and you are moving throughout. And as you move and land on different hexes, you are picking up flowers and you're using the flowers to reproduce. You can land on spaces to get life cycle cards. And after the round is over, each round has its own specific scoring card, which there is a bunch of them. There's about 6 or 7 for each season. So you shuffle those up and you put those out. At the end of the round, that's one of my favorite parts of the game.
Those kind of variability things like that are really good for replayability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if it all is all the same, it's like, well, why wouldn't I do the same thing every single time? Right. So at the end of the round, you score those individual scoring goals. And at the end of the game, so you go through the next season, at the end of the game, you're going to get a lot of points for getting your butterflies back to Mexico, and you score for that. You also score the end of the game card as well, the fall season card. And that's how like simple the game is. The game is very, there's a little bit of things about how you reproduce and how you collect flowers and that kind of stuff.
I know how to reproduce. Yeah. I didn't even need those rules.
Yeah. I read the book. And
I know how to do it. Yeah. I have 3 kids.
Reproducing for dummies.
Let me take the reproduction action. Now let's go.
Dad has got this. So, it's a very simple concept, but with a simple concept, I think comes a little more thinking and strategy than I thought initially. When I first went into it of just, all right, well, let me just fly these butterflies around and I'll be fine. They'll get back. And then I'm like, well, maybe they won't. So I've played this a couple times, and my first play is going to be similar to what Ryan's going to say. So we'll move from a game that Natalie hated to a game that Ryan hated.
This episode has everything.
Man, it has everything.
Dear listeners.
I guess I have to hate the next game.
Yeah.
So let me start with some things I really liked. I think the artwork is beautiful. Oh, yes. So as art itself,
that does not put it into you have to see this box.
Yeah, the box, the board, the cards. It's just it's like the board has this just beautiful colors of like this red, orange, green. I don't even know how to describe it. On this matte black board that has even
the font they use to write spring, summer, like that
the scoring track cool. has this nice like wave to it. Yeah, you can just look at it. You could hang the thing on the wall. If you don't like it, you could buy it and hang it on the wall.
I might.
And I really loved like Ryan said, the variability in the scorings, that the cards are different every single time. Because I would just play the game the same and I wouldn't play it ever again. But if it was just the same. But with these different scoring things, I can now plan for maybe the next season instead of this first season. I liked that. I liked it a lot more my second play. So my first play, I felt like I didn't really know what to do with these butterflies. Do I send them on these goals that I need to do for this round? Or do I hang some back? Because I know I need to get some of these butterflies back to Mexico before the end of the game. So do I sacrifice some of them? Do I just send them all and get all these points during the game and then just bail on the end game scoring? Or do I do the opposite? Do I just hang them all around really close and not get any points of the game but try to get them all back? Mm-hmm. I liked that balance the second time. The first time I felt like, how the hell am I going to do this? How is it possible for me to score in every single season and then get these butterflies back when sometimes my cards are only... move one. And it's like, what do I do to combat that feeling? And I felt like that the first game. And the second game, having known that feeling, I went into it with a little more strategy, knowing that, all right, I might pick a card that isn't going to be what I need it to be to play, but I'm going to hang this butterfly back. He's going to be my fail-safe, or she's going to be my fail-safe. Just in case if I get crappy cards, that's going to be my one.
It's got to be a he and a she. So
yeah.
Anyone's cool.
So I liked that a lot. Things I didn't like, I didn't love so there's a stack of about 30 cards that you're drawing from to put in your hand. There's only about 5 different ones. I think that an easy expansion or add-on would be to just make cards different. So have a different set of cards. Yeah, so maybe I can move 4 butterflies, but 1 can do what's on the spot or something like, just change up the cards a little bit so I can see more. Because, with only 6, I guess there is a predictability in what I might get, but I didn't love that. For how beautiful the game is, sometimes your butterflies get lost on the board and what you're trying to look at.
Same with the number. You could never see the number of the butterfly to pick it up and look at it because it's so tiny.
So things are smaller, but because your butterflies are similar colors to the spots. Some spots.
It's all kind of bright.
So, it's all just bright. So, for how beautiful it is, I think there's a little bit of distraction there. I'm looking forward to, another play. Because I know Devin felt the same way that what Ryan's going to say here in a second. And me the first time. I felt a lot better the second time about it. So this is again.
She'll feel better the second time.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully.
So, this is Mariposas again. And... yeah, so who should I start with? Do we end with Ryan? Let's go with Natalie. All right, Natalie, what did you think of Mariposas?
Build us up so I can tear us down.
Yeah. I am not a huge fan of the butterfly theme. This might be the 3rd butterfly game I've played, and the other 2 sucked. So I had pretty low expectations.
You're right. Because we played that one at Grand Con.
Yeah,
that was just not.
Was kind of
it was not.
So what do you have?
And then Papillon.
We have Papillon.
That's going to Mr. Measles. That is a Mr. Measles.
It has real cool components, and it's really pretty too. But the game
I actually
was
liked
just,
the game.
The game was just
Mrs. Measles likes butterflies.
Loves
Yeah,
it.
She needs to buy Mariposas.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
just
They
hang this
probably
thing
already
on the
have
wall.
it, I would
You need to
guess.
hang this thing on the wall. Anyway.
Right.
For sure.
So I wasn't really like expecting much. You know, I was like, oh, butterflies, whatever.
Butterflies.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like.
So because my expectations were kind of low, I did like it better than I thought. I didn't have. I mean, I won't say I did very well. I don't think I did like great or anything, but I didn't feel what Ryan felt. I didn't feel like I couldn't do anything. There definitely was like randomness in the cards. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what it would be like again because there was. Please stop! You always say these comments and I lose my train of thought, and I'm like, duh.
Sorry.
That wasn't me.
Wasn't me. It was not. I can vouch for that. It was not it.
Oh God, who even knows what I'm saying? Yeah, basically, I liked it better than I thought. There was definitely randomness, but didn't affect me a ton. And I feel like if it did, I would have had a worse time. I agree. The art is gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Good God.
But the butterflies, the spots that you put it on, so like the spots all have flowers, and if you land on that spot, you get that type of flower. Well, the butterfly completely covers the spot, and people can go on the same spot as you. And so we were always like picking up the butterflies to see what was under there because you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody wanted to move to that spot. That was
the butterflies should just be invisible.
Yeah.
Hovering. They should be flying.
Floating above.
I mean, I
that'd be
get
sweet,
why.
actually, a little stand.
I'm not saying they should like change that or anything. That was just something to take note of.
No, Elizabeth listens to this and she's going to take a high offense to your comments.
Yeah. I liked the little spots with those tokens.
The cities.
Yep. Yeah, you're
What are
collecting those.
The cities. They're called like
They're called cities. Oh yeah,
the Wayward
They're
Station
called,
or something.
Right, where you turn it over and you get like a card and you get points for the cards. I mean, and again, in this particular game, I don't know how it was in your first game, I happened to like go to one side of the board and all like the same color cards or most of the same color cards were like all along that side of the board, and so it kind of worked out for like Dave and I to collect those. And I know that that's just how that particular play happened to work out.
Yeah, that's another thing I like, because if you collect all the same color of these life cycle cards, there's then a power, which I think is cool. And the powers are also variable. So both Natalie and Dave got to take an extra turn at the end of the fall, which was huge.
Right.
You know, Ryan and I didn't focus on those tokens as much because I was focused on, all right, let me just try to get as many butterflies back. That's what I'm going to do. Because my first game I didn't. So let me try this.
Right.
So.
And you're right though, like it's a lighter game, but there's also definitely like some decisions to be made. Like, do you want to go for those season scoring cards? Because those aren't that easy. Like sometimes it's like get all the way up past Chicago and you're like, how do I get up that far? Especially if I'm only picking cards that let me move one space. And then how do I get back to Mexico if I'm not picking the cards that are letting me move quickly? Like I had one butterfly that I couldn't get back in time, and that would have, that lost me like 5 points in the end, and I could have been like maybe tied with you guys for first place if that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if I'd like run out and buy it, but I would definitely play it again, and I thought it was a little bit better than good. Not
the game
great.
will never enter our house again.
I was like, there's no way we're getting it because of Ryan's thoughts. But
right,
go ahead.
No, I want to talk about what I liked a lot because Jeff talked about it, the artwork, and this artwork was it spoke to me so much that I was just. How many comments did I make about the freaking board?
Yeah. Maybe Ryan wasn't paying attention to the rules so much. Maybe that's why I didn't like it.
I would not stop talking
Ryan
about the artwork.
Ryan did have high expectations of this game going in.
I wanted to like it so bad. Okay, well, hold on.
Yeah.
So I could not stop gawking at the box, especially the board, the font. Like I talk about this font on the board, set against that black.
Yeah, black was a nice
border.
touch.
Oh my god, it was so beautiful. It was really. I thought the players were really awesome. The Jeff was really good at explaining the rules and just being very accommodating.
Thanks, man.
There was a Natalie that I found to be more fun to look at than even the artwork, and I fell in love with that component. And then there was a Dave that was also really relaxing and encouraging, and I almost was as fun to look at as Natalie. What I didn't like, okay. Before I start this, I want to caveat this. This was my first play. My only play. I finished dead last. Okay. I understand there's a butthurt component to this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that I don't personally think that totally colored my opinion or invalidates what I'm about to say next, but I want the listener and the Jeff and Natalie components to take that as as a grain of salt for what I'm about to say next. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they have 3 different opinions here, so they can.
No, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. But I want I don't want to just rail on a game that It's not like I've played this 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff even himself said that his second play was infinitely better than his first play.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so all that Jeff level preamble out of the way. and Jeff's already hit on this a little bit. As much as I gushed about the artwork a second ago, the playable surface of the game was too busy. Again, Jeff and Natalie both talked about this. It was just difficult for me. It was difficult to even tell some of the flowers apart.
Oh, right.
There was like 2 or 3 flowers. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. No, that's not the right flower. Luckily, there's flowers in every space, and it's easy. It was easy enough to be like, okay, well, I just have to go slightly to the left. Just move it over slightly.
Yeah.
So I felt like the actual playable surface was a little bit too busy. It was difficult to tell the different flowers apart. The butterflies got lost on the board. I think Dave mentioned that. And it was almost impossible to tell what number of the butterfly you have. When I was going to program, like, that's my 2. No, he's going to die anyway. So I don't want to care about that one.
Oh.
Okay, but you're going to die.
You're going to die anyway.
Well, it wouldn't mate with me. So, so the randomness is probably my biggest complaint. I will say I don't mind randomness in like a random setup. Like I love those three cards. Like, to me, that's like you randomly shuffle those cards, you put them out. Now I know, okay, I got to deal with these cards throughout the game. And it's cool that you don't just see the summer card when summer starts. Mostly, I would guess. You get to see it a few turns probably before the summer. So you can prepare a little bit, or you can try. For me, it was like, well, if I have any hope of getting that card, I have to give up on this card. I can't get this card and then do that card. So I have to just go for that card, which worked out in the second round. But the type of randomness I don't really like is, so in the setup of this game, you put out all these tokens. You shuffle them, you ran them all up, and you put them out there on the board. And you don't get to see them. And so you can't make a plan. So Natalie talked about these cards that you get, that if you get them, you get a point for each of them. And if you manage to complete a set, you also get an ability. And so me and Jeff spent our time like on the one side of the board. Natalie and Dave spent their time on the other side of the board. And there's how many of those are there? 16 or 18 of these?
Something like that.
There's 12.
The exact ones, the first 4 that were flipped over were all the blue ones.
Yeah. There's
Jeff flipped over 2, and his were the crappy ones that didn't do anything. So he didn't get any cards. Dave's got all of a sudden 3 cards now that he needs to complete that set. And so right off the bat, just on the luck of having them upside down, it's just Dave's already at an advantage that Jeff and I aren't. And so it's like, for me, I was like, well, I'm not going for that's why I decided not to go for those.
Yeah.
I was like,
Dave,
well, I can't go for those. You tied, right?
Yeah, but I won a tiebreaker.
Yeah. So if those tokens had started face up, I think that fixes it completely for me. Because now at least we all have the exact same chance to go for them. And if Dave decides to go for those cards and I don't, then it's on me. It's not on just the tokens being randomly decided.
I wonder what the reasoning is why they're face down, because they don't need to be. I'm
surprised at that too. I don't know why you would do that.
It's not like you get
Put them face up.
Like everyone else can get it after it's face up. It's almost like a disadvantage for the first person who has to go out of their way and guess.
It is a disadvantage for the first person. Because everyone else gets to be like, okay, well, yeah, I'll let Jeff go to that one. Jeff flips over, it's nothing. Dave's now like, I don't have to go that way. Now I'll go this way, and there it is. It happens to be there. Now I get that stuff.
Well, it is never nothing, but it can be just not what you want.
Well, it's not one of those cards to go for a set, which doesn't give you a victory point, and it doesn't give you anything to get a power at the end of afterward. So Natalie and Dave just got these things, and now they get 4 points for those cards, and they get an additional turn at the end of the game. So that I didn't like that. That felt bad. I didn't understand why we couldn't just flip them face up.
Well, if like you're never gonna play this game again, but if somehow we like force you to play this game, we can just try it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised. I'm like, I wonder why they didn't.
Yeah.
It just seems to me like a logical.
Maybe I should also double check the rules.
No, you're right. Because after I wrote everything down, and I was like, I want to make sure I'm not wrong here. And I checked a couple reviews, and the setup was exactly like you described. Okay. You did everything perfectly. The other thing was, and again, I'm sure part of this is because of it was my first play. I got at the end of the last round of the game, and maybe this isn't how it always goes, but this is how it was for all 4 of us on the last round of this play. The entire last round was literally just run back to the start. That was it. And so to me, that felt really uninteresting. I was honestly just like, okay, I got to get these butterflies back. I got to pull these 5 move cards. And so my entire you get 6 turns in the last round. My entire 6 turns, and part of this might have been because our last card didn't have any victory point conditions. It was literally just, you get a point for having 3 flowers, but the other one was not a victory point condition. It was just like, if you bang to the east of Houston, you get a double butterfly.
I can say that
one.
That was not like that in my first play, where the last scoring card, what Devin and I did is and this might help you, we flew a couple back, and then if the cards we didn't need to move the butterflies back, we could move other butterflies on the board to then score endgame stuff. So it was like, I didn't feel like I was just running everything back. I needed to because it was important, but I also could move these flowers east of Atlanta, and then I would get points for that too. So it was just
so yours the summer fall did have endgame.
Yeah, absolutely. That might have been the only one that didn't have some direction for the other butterflies.
So maybe that's it. But that sucked because literally we were all four of us were just running back, and because of the randomness of the cards, the way those came out, all three of them got to come back with multiple butterflies, and I didn't. How
many did you go back with compared to the second game?
I think
first time you played?
Either 2 or 3 the first game and 4 the second game. So I had one more butterfly.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I think I got 3 back.
Yeah, I think you got 3.
I felt like the last round was just, for me personally, was just, okay, play a card. Is it 5? It is. Okay, boom. Draw a card. It's 3. Oh, I got 2 that are 3. Okay, I'll turn him in. Get more one. Oh, one's 4. Crap, I need 5. And then it's like, all right, well, I can't get back. I was on the last possible space. And yes, I didn't feel like... There's a lot of games where you play and you lose and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I made a mistake somewhere that I didn't realize. But I didn't feel like, oh, I shouldn't have spent that last turn going to this space way up north because I had to do that to get that scorecard. I didn't feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's why I didn't get back. I just kind of felt like, if I get the card, because if I had gotten the 5 card instead of the 4 card randomly, then I get 10 extra points. Wow. And all of a sudden, now I'm not dead last. Now I'm like right behind the leaders.
Right.
And I didn't get that. So now I'm in dead last by like 5 or 6 points. Right. Yeah. And it felt really bad. And I didn't like that. And
it felt like it wasn't it was out of your control.
Yeah. It felt like everything I was doing in the game was to get that second scorecard, which I did really well. I got like 11 or 12 points out of that. Yeah. And I did really well there. And then, but now I'm in a position where it's like, well, I can't really, there's nothing else I can do. Mm-hmm. So what do I do? I just have to run back. I just run home, and I couldn't run home. And so it was like, almost like doing that, I felt like was kind of, it hurt me.
Yeah. I totally get that. It's different if it's like just like a game that's full of randomness, but this isn't a game like that. You are spending the entire game, moving around, strategizing, planning, and then this random component just like stops you in the end. That would be frustrating.
Yeah, it was frustrating. You just felt like, damn, I don't feel like I felt like the draw of the cards, you only get 2 cards. Mm-hmm. I felt like that. I was like, well, I either get a 4. If I get a 4, I can't do it. If I get a 5, I can. And it wasn't exciting. I was just kind of like, even if I get it, I'm like, well, I just lucked into it. Mm-hmm. I just luckily get the card I need instead of, I didn't plan. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm making this plan and I'm going to be able to do that and do this. It was just like, I draw a card. Can I do that? No. Okay, next turn. Can I do it? Yes. Can I do it? No. You know what I mean? The last round. Mm-hmm. That's how the last round felt for me.
Your thoughts are very similar to my thoughts after the first play.
Well, that's heartening.
Yeah, and so again, not that I'm making you play it ever, but I did feel like I was planning more in this second game, because in the first game I felt like you did, where it's like, all right, I know what the goal is this round. Let me rush to do all of that.
Yeah.
Now I know what the goal in the second round is. Let me rush to do that.
Yeah.
Now I know what the goal. So instead, this round I could have reproduced a bunch of butterflies in the second round, but I didn't, because I knew we were going to get a bonus in the third round. So it was like I was sitting there with no 4 butterflies on the board, and I was like, well, let me just take my first turn multiplying. Now I get double.
Yep.
So I tried to think more about the next round a little bit, which then tried to help me. But again, lucking into cards to get some of my butterflies back.
Yeah. That's a good point. I wonder if you played it again, if knowing what you knew.
I feel like doing that, I would have had to say to myself, okay, I'm not going to try to shoot my load here on this middle card, because that put me in the position where I was in for the last round.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just like one of the goals.
Plan for the end of the round, like put yourself in a position.
But even more than that, I felt like I was so behind because of you guys had all those extra cards and those extra powers and that extra turn, and that I had no hope of doing. If I was going to get that middle card, again, I can't go for the cities. I can't stop, because you only have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 or 15 turns total.
Yeah.
It's really tight. You don't have time to just kind of be like, I'll go to this city over here and see what's under there, and I'll go. You kind of have to just go.
Yeah.
And if you get them, you get them, and if you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
And you guys got them.
Right.
And me and Jeff didn't get them. Yeah, Jeff tied or won the game. So I'm not saying that. It just, to me, it felt like, well, I can't do that. Now I'm not. I can't get my butterfly back. I don't have any cards.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
And it just felt really bad, and I didn't like it.
So I think to sum it up, Mariposas again. It went in with big hype because of Elizabeth Hargrave. It fell short of Wingspan, which...
Oh, yeah, 100%.
How many games fall short of Wingspan?
Couldn't.
A lot of them.
Yep.
It wasn't going to be
Thousands of games fall short of Wingspan
but let me tell
every
you
single
this.
year.
Let me tell you this. For me personally, I wasn't expecting it to be Wingspan. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was hoping to love it. I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, honestly. I think there's people that are just like, well, it's not Wingspan. I don't expect it to be Wingspan.
Yeah, don't be like that.
You know what I mean? At all. I just was hoping for it to be something different.
So yeah, if you can check it out on Tabletop Simulator, I don't know if it's on there, or go to a board game cafe and play it, or
it's getting a lot of good stuff. I'm in the minority here. Jeff, Dave, and Natalie all had a good time. I did not. So if 25% of the people don't like it, that's pretty good for Mariposas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah.
Check it out. Let's get this hate train going, shall we? Let's move on to a game called Sonora.
Yeah.
When I bought Alma Mater and Tekhenu, I did what every responsible Cool Stuff Inc. purchaser does. Yep. I added on games until I got to $100 so I could get free shipping.
Absolutely.
Does it matter that the game I added on was more than the shipping would have been? Hell no. I invested that shipping money into a new game, damn it. Plus, it's a tax write-off because of the show. So Sonora was the lucky target of this show's fraud, and in it came, and on the table it went. Sonora is the first, did you guys know this? The first flick and write game in existence, apparently.
Pandasaurus tells me.
Published by Pandasaurus, yeah, exactly. This game looked so good, sounded so good. You flick numbered discs onto a board. Whichever zone the discs land in, you take actions on your dry erase board that correspond to the discs that you flicked. Each zone represents its own little mini game. So I get to flick discs like Crokinole.
Yes.
Where I flick them determines how many actions I get to do in this mini game.
Yes.
Doesn't that sound like the best thing ever?
It does.
That sounds so awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
So the flicking part was really boring personally. I found the flicking boring. The board was just a little too small. It was too easy to kind of do whatever the heck you wanted to. I mean, it was very often we'd flick it into the center. Now, we're all experienced crokinolers, but still,
it was easy.
Very often you could get it into the center.
I would have loved a crokinole size board.
Oh,
yeah. It was just
and bigger discs.
And it was just like, I guess I want to go over there. It was so easy to flick it where you wanted it to go. Yeah. So easy. Yeah. The hard thing, not for Jeff, was to get it on those little multipliers.
Yeah.
I felt like Jeff was like, boop.
I'm not sure I got any on a multiplier.
Unless it was an accident,
it was easy.
right?
You just flicked it on the multiplier. Just tap it
it's also complete chaos because when there's 4 of you, you each have 5 discs. Your stuff's gonna get screwed over. Yeah. So you just kind of flick them and then hope that stuff. So I found the flicking part really subpar. No, above par. What's the worst one? Subpar, but isn't it subpar? Like
subpar is good in golf, but when you talk about
everything
other
else, okay. I found it subpar.
Yeah.
Now
usually par is like good.
Yeah, par is good. Like below par is.
But when you get subpar in golf, it's like a birdie. That's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, subpar.
We're a bunch of 5-head smarties here. The art. Okay, the art is the worst offender, though. Remember what we talked about a few minutes ago, Mariposas? How the art kind of like hurt the play a bit. Like, how to play a little bit because everything's blending in. The art in this was 10 times worse than that. Okay, it made you feel like you had no idea what zone of the board corresponded to the zone on your sheet. It was really distracting and kind of sapped your immersion like an ad in the middle of porn. The color palette, and graphic design choices were really poorly thought out. 2 of the zones were like the same colors.
It was like
just
orange and yellow,
reversed.
And the other one was yellow and orange.
Yellow and orange,
right.
yeah.
And then like dark purple and light purple.
Even the graphic design was like similar. Like one had paths, the other had like roads.
Right.
It was like, and they were all, it was really,
and the owl looked like the wizard, or not the wizard, the owl looked like the lizard. I was like, geez, OP.
Yeah, so that was really weird. The flick part of this game for me gets a D, as I'm apparently switching to a letter grade system. The right phase, though, the WRITE phase, I think is where the game shines.
Yes.
Once you finally get through all the crap in the flick phase and understand exactly what you're trying to do and where you're trying to play, the right phase is actually pretty fun and interesting.
He just really says it how it is.
There are, hey, this is episode 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
New me. There are 4 different mini games you're playing, and each of them have a pretty cool mechanism, I thought. One is just like Roll Through the Ages. You're just trying to fill in your boxes of buildings before everyone else to score points. One's like a combination of a crossword and like a polyomino puzzle thing where you're trying to encircle these different, cacti? One of them is like a path where you're traveling down to try to score different points along the way. And the other is like a point-to-point movement one where you're trying to, again, encircle these different objects to get points. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fresh. It's cool. However, for me, the issues in the flicking phase overpower, honestly, any desire for me to want to play this very often. If the flick phase and the artwork were done better, honestly, I think this could have been one of the best blank and writes ever. And I'd want to bring it out to everybody. But the way it is, I don't even know if I want to hold on to it, to be honest. What do you guys think?
I pretty much 100% agree with you. Like,
pretty much.
Agree with the art. That was hard.
Miss.
There was it
Big
was
whiff,
so confusing and so similar
Hey, big whiff.
that like I got confused even at the end of the game. We've been playing it, 4 rounds, and I'm like, oh,
agreed.
I'm like trying to plan it out, and then I realized that's not even the right board I'm looking at. Like, that's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a learning curve. It was just like, what am I? And you had to rotate it every time, which made it even harder.
Right. There wasn't even a learning curve, and I didn't think about the flicking until you said it was boring, but now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, you're right. It kind of was kind of stupid.
I didn't go that far.
Yeah.
But you're right.
It was, but it was kind of just like, oh yeah, just do this. It wasn't that
hard.
interesting or cool.
No, it wasn't hard. It wasn't interesting.
And then the artwork
It wasn't veiny.
Oh my God.
But the other point you made was how the 4 little games were awesome. I loved those games. Like, I think that was so cool, and the whole idea of this thing was so cool.
Yeah.
And so because of like those games, I still am like holding on hope. I'm like, oh, it's just those like carried it, but at the same time, the art like almost gave me a headache. Trying to figure out like what is this? Which one is this? Like looking back and forth between the board and your like scoreboard thing, and so I think you like nailed it when you were like, if the art was different,
nailed it,
and then the flicking was a little more interesting, this would have been like
a slam dunk,
awesome, like totally awesome, because the 4 little game thing was really cool. But they kind of messed up in the other areas.
What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, similar thoughts. I would have loved a slightly bigger board to make the flicking more fun. I do think if you're looking at a positive of the flicking in contrast to roll and writes you have literally no control over throwing dice, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm flicking something, I am better at most people at crokinole, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can flick a disc into at least a smaller area where I know it's going to go.
Yeah, you can be more precise.
I can actually go, all right, I need to be in this purple zone. I can flick it over there, as opposed to I need a purple die, and you roll it and you don't get it.
Right.
So there is some, I like that a little bit.
It was almost, but it was too easy, don't you think?
Yeah, some of it was too easy.
Flick it in purple.
The art and it was just too, in the orange square or in the orange section of the board, there's a tiny little ×2 for the yellow section, and it's like, what am I looking at on this?
It was confusing.
Yeah.
It's like, I know they wanted to go with this desert theme, and I think the box cover looks very cool.
It does. I like it.
But you could have just made the board a little more
usable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's a letdown.
Yeah, and I liked 3 of the mini games. The dot one, the filling in sections, that is boring.
Yeah, that one was
But the other 3 were fun.
They were.
But yeah, there was just some things that if I never played Sonora again, I would just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
And that's a bummer. I was expecting it to be. We played pictures again. I was expecting it to be that way. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna
Pictures
be
was awesome.
It's really fun. It's raucous.
Yes.
It's in the background of literally every Instagram person out there.
Yeah.
Sonora is like
Really?
everywhere. Yeah. So I was
What do
like,
other
this is
people
going to be
think about
so good. I don't know. Who cares? I know what I think about it. I don't like
if
it.
a lot of people liked it.
2 games in a row. I don't even really like. What the crap.
Let's talk about one you did like.
All right. Here's one I liked.
Okay.
You want to know about this next one that I liked?
I do.
Sure do.
Me.
All right. So this game, if I can get back up, we played some more hotness. Hotness. We had our very own Mad Board Gamer over yesterday to play this Hotness Board and Dice's new game, Tekhenu. I have been absolutely loving games by these Italian designers, which is why they were number 2 on my designers list, if you remember last episode.
I remember.
This game builds upon the incomprehensible pronunciations of its predecessors, Zoikin the Mayan Calendar, the Fozzie Bear-themed Teo Tawaka Waka, and Tris Majestic that precedes Taiwan Will Sue You. In Tekhenu, you are Egyptians basking in the light of the mighty obelisk tower. You'll erect mighty pillars, erect buildings to spread your influence all over the board, and even erect statues in a loving attempt to erect the fearsome Egyptian
Ryan's unkinked toes is still unkinked.
Your population,
Right in the line, buddy.
happiness, and brain cells in this game will attempt to whip you into submission at every turn, and it is delightful. Essentially, what you have is a series of action spaces that you will trigger each turn by drafting a die that's surrounding the obelisk and attached to one of the actions. When you draft the die, you can either use it to gain resources in its color equal to the pip value, but that's boring nonsense that makes you feel like a wasteful loser. What you really want to do is use that die to trigger the action of the god it's attached to. Either way, once you take the die, you place it on your player board in one of the 2 sides of this scale. That must be balanced by the end of the round, or else you could lose points and go further back in turn order for the next round. You see, every die is placed around the obelisk into one of these 3 zones. There's the pure zone, the tainted zone, and the forbidden zone. There's also a 4th friend zone, where if you take a die there, you have to listen to your best hot single woman friend's problems about the guy she hates until you lose your turn.
That's the worst one.
Anyway, you take a die in the purity zone, you place it on the purity side of your scale. If you take one in the tainted zone, it goes on the other side of your scale. And at the end of the round, you subtract the total pips from the tainted side from the total pips of the purity side, right?
You want it to be balanced.
And the remainder is how many spaces away from glory you get to. The closest to 0 means you are a balanced soul. And just like in real life, first in turn order. Stray too far from the light and you'll be losing victory points. The way the dice get allocated to which zone, though, depends on which side of the obelisk is lit up. Which side of it's lit, like Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Once each player has selected 2 dice, the obelisk will rotate, causing the lit up area of the obelisk to change, which then changes which dice are pure, tainted, and forbidden. And the forbidden dice are forbidden, and you just can't take them at all. They just sit there and taunt you like little asshole cubes of jerk. So the actions you're taking with those dice are really difficult and tricky to pull off. Most of them allow you to perform the action depending on the pips of the die you chose, and it will always seem to consume all of your damn resources for seemingly little return. And then you have to feed your dumb civilization on the scoring phase. But I need that bread to put a building out onto the board to get me points. But if I do that and don't feed, I'm losing more points than the points I'd gain right now by putting that building out. But putting that building out can yield larger returns later in the game. So what do? It's those sorts of moments which make the game shine for me. So things I liked. I really liked this game. The moments where you just don't know what to do are lessened a bit by the dice. So you don't just have an unlimited amount of options, you know what I mean, in this game. There's games where like you're just looking at a million things you could do and you're just like, what do I choose? In this one, you have a lot of options, but they're not so overwhelming that you're just locked up because you have these things you want to do and you're pissed at yourself because you don't have the resources to pull it off, or you want so badly to take this die for this action that you can do, but it's in the tainted ring. And if I take that, now I have like 15 tainted points. And I'm going to go back and lose 3 points at the end of the game. Son of a bitch! I guess I'll just get stupid granite this turn, you know? So I love that stuff, though. There's those decisions that make me happy. You have to figure it out. Like, how can I make this happen? There's a lot of decisions to make once you're able to fulfill the action, and those are also really fun. I really like the components. The obelisk is super awesome looking on the table. For some reason, the colors of the dice, I don't know why, but I love them. They're like black, gray, yellow, and brown.
Yeah.
But they look so cool out there. I don't know what it is. They just look really great
go with
to
the
me.
theme, yeah.
Yeah. The pillars you're putting out there are awesome. The statues, the buildings, the dice that circle around the obelisk. It just all looks really cool. Check out Gamecasters and Mad Board Gamer are going to make a post, I think, about this game in the coming days. You'll see what it looks like. It looks so cool. Each action space is really different, which helps keep the game feel interesting. And I just had a lot of fun playing it and mentioned it a lot during the course of the play, I felt like. So things I didn't like. As much as I loved the decision space this game had and how difficult it was to make a decision, there were moments where you just could not do something you wanted to do because either all the dice were gone or they were mostly all forbidden. And taking one of them would cause you to go so far out of balance, it didn't feel worth it. And that was a bummer. In a game like Teotihuacan, you control your own fate there. You decide which dice to move, when to level them up, where to place them. So if something happens where you're screwed and can't take an action, it's your fault. And you can't blame the game. Tekhenu, you randomly pull dice from a bag and roll them, and then allocate them depending on where the light is in the obelisk. So a bad roll can screw you up a little bit and potentially help someone else, and it's just random. Also, the pillar tiles, they all have these backgrounds on them that grant you a special power if the background matches the light of the obelisk at that moment. You could have the resources you need to take that tile, but your opponent takes it first. And then the next tile that comes out that you also have resources to buy doesn't have that matching back. So now you're just kind of, darn, like that sucks. And this is because the randomness of the tile. That didn't really happen a ton in our play. But I could see that being an issue of being a little annoying. And I wouldn't say the game feels random because of it, even due to those critiques. But just keep that in mind. Overall, for me personally, I loved the game. And I'm really looking forward to my next play. I kind of even want to try the solo version because I think it's
Oh, it has solo?
Yeah, I think David Tercey designed the solo version, and he does a lot of the Automa stuff. So I liked it that much. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think, Jeff?
I really liked it also. I enjoyed the challenge of the game because it was challenging. Yeah. It's not an easygoing game. It's not at all. But I loved how tight the resources were, like you said. I like games like this because what I like to do is I like to find ways to get resources by not using the dice to get resources.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's and Ben always talks about this on Date Night Dice podcast where he likes playing games where he feels sneaky. And he'll like make a sneaky move.
Yep.
And I like being able to go, all right, I don't have these resources, but I can do this cool move that isn't just getting resources, but gets me the resources I need to then do something else.
And maybe my opponent didn't see that.
That's so funny. Now that you say that, I feel like that happens a lot. And when we play with you, like I don't usually pay attention to like other people when I'm playing. And then there's so many games I feel like we play with Jeff, and I look over and I'm like, whoa, where did you get all those?
How did he do that? And you're sure he's cheating, and he's like
stealing resources. Yeah, I meant like sneaking resources when you guys aren't looking, right?
Yeah, that's sneaking. Yeah, that'd be
I'm just like,
why are all my resources gone, bro? I don't know. That's how it was.
Definitely a thing he does.
Yeah, right. So I do like. With this and Teotihuacan and games like Trajan, I like games that are kind of point salad-y games that have all these different mini games in it. And I like the challenge of how to play those mini games the best. And and finding the right mini games to play in connection with each other to give you the most points. Okay, if I make these pillars and if I put my statues out, let's play those two games the most and do everything else a little bit. Because if you forget one thing, you're probably not going to win. And if you focus just on one thing, you're probably not going to win. True. So to find the right combination, I found the right combination to get me a lot of points early on. And I'm like, okay, and Ryan found a lot of points at the end. Yep. And knew kind of, we all knew that Ryan was scheming in the game.
For sure.
I didn't even know I was scheming, but Jeff knew. That was a funny story.
I knew
Jeff always knows I'm scheming even before me.
That he was scheming.
He was scheming.
I loved how the dice shifted every two. And like you said, with the options, I liked that I had a lot of options, but I also didn't because of where my balance was and what dice I drafted before.
That balance thing was kind of cool, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was funny because I feel like we all placed so much weight on it. I wonder if you played it and just kind of like played it.
Take whatever you want.
Yeah, and I wonder what that would do to your game because you lose 3 points, which is bad if you go way out of whack.
But I really wonder. To you once, like, does that really?
Yeah, well, because a lot of time, like Jeff, I feel like Jeff, he got 0. Almost every time.
Yeah, except
almost
the last,
every time. Except the last one. Almost,
so I was going first because I thought turn order was going to be really important, which it was in certain places.
Sure.
But
because I had like -1, which is still really good in the balance.
Yeah.
But doesn't beat
and
0.
I went last. It doesn't beat 0. And Natalie's had the higher tie-break card than me.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, man, if I would have gone last anyway, maybe, I just wonder. It's interesting.
This big obelisk on the board is just so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
it's
cool how that all
Ben's going to paint that for me.
It
right,
is. I can paint it gray.
Blue.
What color do you want? I just dip it in paint.
Red.
But it's very cool. It didn't have to be there. It's a gimmick. It's just like the
just like Zolkin.
pyramid or the Zolkin. So it's
but it draws.
But it's cool. It draws people in. It looks awesome on the table. It's fun to spin. I thought the art and I thought the iconography was good. Like I never felt like I didn't know what something was or so that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really liked it.
Happiness.
I'm excited to play that. Teotihuacan again. All the other
incomprehensible T names.
Country, yeah, all those
Tris
ones.
Magical.
I feel like it's so fun to say Trismegistus.
Trismegistus.
Waka Waka.
I just got that game too, so I'm excited that maybe the three of us can play it, or maybe we play it separately.
I'm excited.
Let me and Devin play it.
Yeah, you guys play, we'll play, and then we'll compare.
But anyway, Natalie, what'd you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so I really liked this game too.
That's 3 likes, guys.
But,
is this our first one of the episode?
Yeah. Here's my
Well, no, we all didn't like Sonora.
Oh, yeah.
You're 2 out of 3 for liking Mariposas.
Yeah,
we all
we
like
had,
Tekhenu, and Jeff didn't play Alma Mater. We were 1 and 1 there.
Yeah.
So. Sorry. You like Tekhenu. You also did.
I like Tekhenu. Okay, I didn't like play the best in this game, but unlike Alma Mater, I enjoyed myself, and I felt like almost more like this was a learning game. Like I was trying to like figure it out, and that I'm excited to play it again.
Oh,
and I
really?
want to do better. Like that's the kind of feeling. Like
I wasn't sure.
It was like So, and I know why, because at the beginning I was getting frustrated. So my biggest problem with this game is I felt like the actions were not intuitive.
Okay.
For me, personally,
for sure.
And I was getting frustrated because I would, go take an action, and then I'm like, oh, and then you have to do these like 4 things, or you have to have this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and I'd go there and I'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that part, or what do I have to do again? And I have to like look at all the steps, and it wasn't like, oh, after a few times I like remember it. I still didn't remember.
I understand that.
Yeah, me too.
So that was kind of like annoying me a little bit about the game, and again, I do like the game and I want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to compare it to like Teotihuacan is just so seamless compared to this, in my opinion. But I still think it's a really good game, and I'm excited to play it again. And Ryan was definitely scheming. Oh my gosh.
He was scheming in the schemer to scheming.
Yeah. And
I was scheming.
The other thing I wanted to say was how you always talk about like having like special powers that kind of break the game.
Yeah.
I liked that too, and I felt like I had a couple of them.
All the cards were very powerful.
Yeah, I had one card that I picked up that was like, so there's that one ring that like forbidden.
To rule them all.
The forbidden area where like you can't take a dice from that spot.
Yes.
But I got a card where I could take a dice from that spot. And not only could I take a dice from that spot, I could choose which side of the...
if it's pure or if it's tainted.
If it's tainted. And so I was like, that is sweet.
That is really sweet.
I mean, that was awesome.
And that was just...
that was fun.
You took an action, you bought the card.
Right.
Exactly. That was cool. So that, real quick, that has another thing of the randomness, because those cards are all random. But I like when you put them out there, kind of like in Mariposas, those 3 cards out there. That's the randomness I love. Where, or in Carpe Diem, there's a ton of tiles in a bag. You draw them all out, you put them face up, and it's like, okay, it's cool. They're randomized, but we all have the exact same opportunities to get them. I didn't go for cards very much in...
Yeah.
What is this one? Tekhenu.
Tekhenu.
It's not like doesn't roll off your tongue.
But
easily.
Jeff made a good point where you kind of have to, like, you can't just avoid doing something, or else you probably won't do very well. But if you try to do everything, a little bit in everything, you're also not going to do very well.
That's my problem in games. I always try to do a little bit of everything because I never know which direction to go, and that is like my downfall. But which is why I want to play this again, because like I know that about myself, and that's probably what I did. And oh man, Ryan at the end.
I would have racked it right then. I would have played it again right then.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan just so
totally Natalie and I could team up and crush Ryan scheming ways.
Well, he totally dominated this one
I got my butt handed to me in Mariposas, you guys. So.
Yeah, you dominated in that one section, with like the buildings,
the statues.
The building.
Oh, the points you mean?
Yeah, because
I built those statues.
I went there and tried to
eke out some points.
Have
at the
majority
end.
and take like the points from you, and like I remember I took like the last dice from the forbidden area. So in my head, I'm like, "There's no
one
way
can go there.
you can go here. There's no more dice to take." And then Ryan had this like special card and did it. And
I was
all
right. I was scheming at that point because I knew when you did that, I was like, I have a card here that lets me take an action in an adjacent spot. And all I have to do is, I was like, I'm going to go there.
That was more like fun. Like I was mad about it.
No, I know what you mean.
But it was more fun, and it wasn't just like, oh, you took my spot, and now I can't do anything.
They took my spot. They took our jam. Wow, that was Tekhenu. I loved Tekhenu. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
The next person that is going to be reviewed is the Gamecasters, I think.
Yeah.
Right, let's hear some more of those, shall we? All right.
I'm Ben.
I'm Em.
And we're from Date Night Dice. 50 episodes. Well, we were on 2 of them, so there's at least 2 good ones.
And maybe in the next 50, we can make 2 more great.
Well, anyway, great job, guys.
Congratulations.
Hi everyone, this is Lydia, also known as All the World's a Stage of 7 on Instagram. I just want to send a great congratulations to the Gamecasters for their 50th episode. Natalie, Ryan, Jeff, thank you for always being you, and thank you for giving me an outlet to share my passion with you. And I look forward to working with you again soon, and coming up to Michigan to play some awesome games. Have a great day.
Hey Gamecasters, Jared here from Meeple Mentor YouTube channel. I found your show back around episode 30 after Jeff became a show regular. You guys always keep me entertained and laughing, either from Ryan's songs and puns or the silly game shows that Jeff and Natalie compete on. That Alexander Hamilton board game rendition was, I think, Ryan's best. My wife was with me in the car when he started singing this, and she smiled but still rolled her eyes. She's a non. I love what you guys are doing and appreciate your enthusiasm, humor, and just what you're doing for this hobby. Next time I'm in Michigan, we should grab a spotted cow.
Congratulations on the 50th episode.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. You guys are the best.
Can't wait to hear 50 more.
Hi, this is Miss French Toast. I love the Gamecasters because you guys make me feel more connected to the board game community, and you always make me laugh.
Best podcast, hands down, is Gamecasters. Gamecasters.
Hey guys, this is Kyle and Frankie. Congrats on the 50th episode. Can't wait to listen in next time to hear you talk about me beating Frankie some more.
Whatever. Love you guys.
Bye.
Mr. Measles here. One of the funnier things I think was at Nerdfest when I accidentally was talking to Ryan and used the phrase little podcast, and he looked like he was going to punch me in the Chud Munsons and said, well, how's that little teaching career going? I about died laughing, so that cracked me up. My expectations of going to Grand Con last year were to hang out with Mick and play a bunch of games. Little did I know that little coincidences like Dave being friends with the person that made the engagement ring, or Dave running into you, or the fact that Natalie and I both are connected to Harrison High School would end up turning Grand Con into me having lifelong friends and listening to Gamecasters. Gonna have to say the thing I love the most about the Gamecasters podcast is that you 3 are always laughing. It's infectious. I end up laughing. So keep at it. Here's to 50 more.
Yep. So it says, we got these Gamecasters, 50 of them near episodes. Congratulations. We love ya. And that's it. That's all I got to say about that.
Hey Gamecasters, this is Nestor from Miami. I want to wish you all a happy 50 episode anniversary. I started listening to you guys when you were still younglings and Natalie was just joining the show. And I enjoy listening to you guys every episode. Now that the Mad Board Gamer is on, you guys are a great group. The 3 of you do awesome together, work well together. I enjoy the humor. I enjoy the analysis. I enjoy the games. I enjoy everything in general. I'm happy to be part of the show in any way I can. I love participating when I'm called on to participate, and I'm sure that everyone who listens to you does so as well. So, from sunny, hot Miami, congratulations on 50 episodes, Gamecasters.
So that's it for all the games we've been playing, and wow, man, these people are so nice. People. What you mean?
So nice.
How awesome are these people?
It's great.
I really like all these people that we've been talking to.
Me too. And demanding them to send us their recorded audio telling us how much they love us was really fun for me. Yeah, I can't wait to I would love to do, I mean, we're not big enough, right? But I would really love at some point to do like a Gamecasters convention.
You know
where
what?
it's just the people that love me.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I was
show
just
up.
thinking today? I was like, how cool would it be at some point if we ever like could afford it, like to like go to like Gen Con and then like rent out like
like a room.
Or rent out a room, or not even, or just like at a restaurant, like a like a room you can rent at a restaurant to like have a party and just like invite like
Yeah, all the listeners.
Yeah,
right. Clothing
just,
optional, whatever you want to do.
I just thought that
The
would
three
be
of
so
us and
cool.
Mr. Measles.
One day, it's our dream.
Yeah, there'd be 4 of us in there.
Yeah.
No one else would
Mr.
come.
Measles.
Well, we made some pizza rolls. So you guys want any? Yeah, that would be cool. Or, I don't know how creepy this is. Like, we do have a house at Gen Con next year.
I would love to have pizza rolls with all these people.
Well,
I'll make so many pizza rolls.
That's why I was really excited for Gen Con this year. So next year
we got screwed out of Gen Con.
Next year, mask or not, if they're running Gen Con,
right. Love us.
I want to meet some.
I really hope our world's in a position
I don't even
where we
want
can
to
have
think
Gen
about
Con
it.
next year.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. That's going to depress
I
me.
know.
This is our 50th episode, Natalie. Let's rein it in here.
Sorry.
Before we get to the Instagram inbox this episode, I wanted to take this opportunity to share something with everybody that has been a bit of a passion project for me, and it's just starting to get off the ground. I have such an unhealthy attachment to this gaming community, and honestly, all my free thought is spent either thinking about how to involve myself more or how to make it better. Since I've been doing this podcast, I found it challenging to market ourselves. How do we get noticed by the gaming community? How do we promote ourselves in such a way that people aren't going to feel turned off? People don't like being solicited, and there's only so much we can do on the show itself. You're not allowed to really promote yourself on most Facebook groups with understandable reason, and so it's just very difficult to achieve real organic growth or to be able to compete on the same level as one of the huge players in the industry. So the idea was born to help newer up-and-coming board gaming content creators, be it podcasts, websites, Instagram accounts, Facebook groups, businesses, whatever. So I started this network. It's a board game network called The Gateway. You can find us at www.thegatewaynetwork.com and _gateway_network on Instagram. The sole purpose of the network is to help other new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the Gateway Network website, you will find other amazing content creators who are just trying to grow, just like us. They are amazing people who produce fantastic content, like Jim Gamer and his passion project, whatboardgame.com, or the Board Game Snobs podcast, whose irreverence and humor are only surpassed by their super endearing, thick Southern accents. Or you can go to YouTube to have the Meeple Mentor teach you a game, or see some lists by being friends. You can grab a beer and listen to Fantasy and Some Flights while you stop by the McMeeple's Instagram account and try to figure out all the games in their monthly mix-up. Or you can sit back and chuckle at the charming stories posted by Date Night Dice and get some ideas on how to be a power couple by listening to their podcast. Maybe you want to get a spark of altruism, so you head over to the Charity Board Gamer account and get some ideas of how you can get involved in things like Extra Life. Whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. Huge shout out also to Instagram user Kurt the Viking, who has been working tirelessly and for free on the web design simply because he's an awesome dude.
Awesome.
So
Please drop him a
awesome.
DM and tell him how amazing he is. Kurt, this generosity will come back on you, my friend, tenfold. My compliments always sound like threats.
You're really nice, and I'm going to give you something.
I'm going to give you a big hug. What's that 30 Rock where Kenneth is like fired and he's like, I have a lot of things to tell you people. I hope you get everything you want in life.
I love you like family.
Yeah. See you in heaven.
We just watched that.
So, on today's edition of the Instagram inbox, we have something a tad bit different. Almost more of a Gamecasters beatdown, I would say. Find out more right now on this episode's Instagram inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Welcome, gamers.
Oh,
this
gosh.
is the Instagram inbox,
Oh,
and I
boy.
feel like this is our 50th episode, and we think we're cool. So I feel like we need to get knocked down a peg or two. So
Especially Ryan.
we're also going to test. Yeah,
Especially Ryan.
we are going to test how our can our egos take being crushed?
No.
Probably not.
I don't need that head
So
trip.
if you've ever seen Jimmy Kimmel or seen a segment that he does called Mean Tweets, where celebrities will read mean tweets about themselves. It is hilarious. If you've never watched it, you should. But
it's fun because it's other people.
I have reached out to many people on Instagram to basically roast us or write mean tweets about us.
Oh, boy.
And we are going to read our mean tweets.
And we've not seen these.
We have not
I have
seen
not
these.
seen any of these.
So here,
Without further ado.
I now have paper that I'm going to hand out.
Oh, God.
Here's Ryan's.
I'm not
and here's Natalie's. So we're going to start with Natalie. So if you look at your paper, it does say, just go top to bottom.
Okay.
And then it does say who it's from. So the first thing it says who it's from. So from Nestor, or from somebody. And then
I'm nervous.
read. Oh, I don't like this. So, and then I also have some too. So
you do.
When I reached out, I said, I want you to mean tweet me as well and send it to Ryan. So the ones I also have not seen mine as well. So
should I start?
Yeah, you start. Okay, so we're going to go to Natalie, Jeff, me. Don't read them. Don't pre-read them.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
All right.
ready?
Yeah.
That one's long. Why is that one so long?
I know.
Come on, Jim.
It's Jim.
All right.
From Nestor.
Oh, boy.
Come on. If Natalie keeps having to listen to Ryan jizz over Star Wars Destiny, she's probably going to hit the wine cabinet more. She'll go from Gamecaster to Drunkcaster.
Okay, I should have read that one. That was a mean tweet against me, Nestor.
Now
This was Nestor?
Let me be clear.
You're dead to me.
No one wanted to be mean to Natalie. So some of Natalie's are also mean to Ryan.
Failed Ryan one, so Ryan gets double mean tweets. That's fine.
So you get like
what?
1.5 mean tweets.
At least I can bear this. Bunch of chuds.
Yeah, no one wants to hear me crying.
Bunch of
It's not
freaking
the last
nons.
time you're going to hear chud in any of these.
Chud month.
All right.
All right, Jeff. You ready for this?
This is from Nestor. Jeff, the so-called mad board gamer, is so full of himself now that he gets a bunch of freebies to play. He'll probably end up jumping ship to the dice tower. Sell out. I'm not going to the dice tower.
Isn't that funny?
That's funny. Good one.
Okay. This one is from Jerry from the Board Game Snobs.
Oh, no.
Okay. I hear the CIA uses the Gamecasters intro to torture people.
So
didn't I make a joke about that one
think
time
you
on
did.
one of our intros? I think I
Let me
did.
see this really quick.
Yeah. Am I going in the wrong order?
No, read the next one. This is like Jerry also made a conversation between Ryan and Natalie. So this is his fake conversation between Ryan and Natalie.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Ryan. So there is no theme, a bland presentation. The rules are confusing. I think it's broken. Natalie. What game are you talking about? Ryan. Us, Natalie. I'm talking about us.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Okay, that's really funny.
Yeah.
All right, Natalie, what's your next one?
Oh man. From Jim Gamer.
Oh boy.
I'm scared of Jim.
Read it in a British accent, please.
Yeah.
All right. From Jim Gamer. Sorry, Natalie. What was that? I couldn't quite hear you over Ryan and Jeff talking loudly again.
I know. No.
There's more. Sure, that was a relevant point you were whispering. Oh, it was just you asking about what games Ryan or Kenizia has made again? You should make your own choices rather than listen to the guff your exercise avoiding husband screams each show.
You son of a...
Oh, and
Jim
talk
is
about
ruthless.
the beatdown. How about we rip apart this so-called show and see what rating you get?
Oh my
Jim was not
harsh.
friendly.
Whoa!
He was not friendly.
I know he told us when he sent yours.
I know, he was like, I'm so sorry.
He was like, this is an American thing, so I'm not really sure. I just went real harsh.
Yeah, he did.
What website.com? All right, Jeff, what we got?
All right, this is from Measles.
Here we go.
Oh boy. All right, Mr. Measles. Fellow teacher,
Jeff's
thanks.
coming after you.
As if 6 hours a day with teens doesn't build up your ego enough, you had to go and start a board game club to convince more teens you were cool. It didn't work.
That's like a classic.
Yeah,
That's really good. That's really good. All right, mine is also from Mr. Measles. Did Natalie get tired of your incessant talking and... I can't. Already with this. Did Natalie get tired of your incessant talking and force you to make the podcast so the rest of us could suffer too?
I mean, he does talk a lot.
Oh, my God.
On and off.
Who, Mr.
podcast.
Measles? You talking about Mr. Measles?
Yeah.
I thought so.
That's great.
All right. No, you.
I got you, though.
Miss French Toast. There's no way she can be mean, right?
Well, we'll see.
Natalie James, a Gamecaster? Hardly. She can't even use BGG. Hashtag join the guild.
Yes.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Hey, you know what that tells me right there? That tells me, Sam, that you listen all the way to the end of the show.
Yep. When
How
it says,
thank you for
Yeah.
that. Wow. And you hurt Natalie in a way that she's laughing. That's a good.
It was good.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Sam had some good ones.
That was good.
Nice.
All right, this one's the McMeeples coming after me. Jeff fake laughs at Ryan's fart jokes, not because he doesn't think they're funny, but actually because he's jealous he didn't get to make them first. Oh, I know. They're good fart jokes.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I work hard on those jokes. All right, Nestor. Didn't he already roast me?
Yeah.
In Natalie's?
Yeah.
Ryan James is so obsessed with sexual innuendos that Tom Vassell prays for him to get some.
This is great.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
Oh, gosh. Okay, Natalie.
Okay. From CP Wilson.
That's Chris.
It's Chris, right? Natalie, Splendor? Could you pick a worse gateway game? How much more cliche could you get? I didn't pick it. Ryan picked it.
Right, yeah,
that's your favorite gateway game. I don't know what he's talking about. Either way, just launch it towards me. I can take it. Natalie can't.
This one's so long. I have to move this. All right, I have to move this closer to me. Okay. This is from Jim, so it's going to be awful.
Oh, boy.
And also extremely long. Thanks, Jim.
It's long and hard.
Yo, Jeff, or Mad Board Gamer, or whatever it is. I prefer the other guy, Jeff. Who's the other guy? Jeremy?
Yeah.
Why exactly are you here again, other than to bag free games?
The second one we've had about
that. I know. Yeah, well, you're not wrong. You're like the token nice guy, right, Jeff? Oh, I teach kids. It's so hard not being in school. Well, the rest of us left when we were 18, dude. Go get a proper job. A proper job.
A proper job.
And whilst I'm at it, he's good.
He's British.
How about you stop teaching kids how to play board games and get your country some future doctors and politicians? That's just a rag on America.
Yeah.
That's what you need. Not more layabouts, lazy, good-for-nothing gamers who vote Trump as they like orange after playing Sonora. Man,
I know.
That's funny.
Sonora.
Yeah. On your watch. Yes, man. Oh, and you're the only here. I gotta read that sentence again. All right, yeah. All right, phew. Man, I'm just getting beat down. I can't even read it. Man. All right, you're only here as the old guy got better offer, right? Oh, man.
Guy. I know, dude.
Well, I like Jeremy too.
It gets worse, Jeff.
Oh my, I know. Check your Instagram inbox. Your headmaster called and headmaster. I'm gonna go principal. We're in America. Your principal called and asked for her teacher back. Oh my gosh! Not some punk ass Instagram game wannabe playing second fiddle on a 2-bit podcast that only I listen to. Oh my gosh! I couldn't even get through that.
Jim,
man.
Jim.
Hey, guess what, guys? Jim Gamer is the next one I have to read.
I know. I'm like, I couldn't even read that.
Okay, Jeff?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I was stumbling through a lot of this.
The only saving grace is that we know Jim actually does like us. I hope.
Well, we think.
Do we though?
We don't know.
Yeah, maybe. He
Sorry, I stumbled through that.
I feel like even he at the end was like, "That was a little bit too easy for me, mate." All right.
Damn.
Jim Gamer, Ryan. So what?
There's more.
No. Ended that with
no,
you?
yeah.
So what? Ryan, so what? You want to be the funny guy, right? You want to be the funny guy, right? Sure. Well, how about waiting for your wife to finish before you tell the next scripted joke and make reference to sucking it again? Come on, you've only just now played Euphoria. It's been out since before you started your alleged exercise regimen, which I've noticed has gone away and been replaced with your hashtag Designathon. What's the problem? Scared of a bit of exercise, or just trying to make sure you don't fall behind the game world again and play Pendulum in 2025?
That's funny. What dick? That was so funny. Also,
shut up,
Jim. Did you notice that I kept having to tell him to stop interrupting me?
I'm sure he noticed, Natalie. This is my show. Who's next?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Measles.
It's gonna be so nice.
That's good.
Is it?
It's also mean to you.
Totally.
I know. All right, go ahead.
From Mr. Measles. Couldn't you find a grown-up to marry?
I
mean, this Chud Munson plays with more toys than Toy Store Andy.
Toy Story Andy.
Who's Toy Story Andy?
The Andy from Toy Story.
Toy Story?
Does it say Toy Store or does Toy Story?
Toy Story.
Sorry.
I misread it. Toy Story Andy.
Oh, I called you a chud.
Listen,
this
Kevin.
Is like
Kevin.
Ooh.
Listen, Kevin, in your little teaching career. That's what. No, we asked for this. We asked for this. This is.
I stand by my marriage choices.
That was really good, Mr. Measles. That was really good.
All right, this is Sam. I'm assuming this is French Toast?
Yep.
Miss French Toast?
Yep.
Jeff, the Mad Board Gamer, is a chud who cheated his way past way better accounts, me, in the BBC bracket. Hashtag Spangler. Nice.
So Jeff and
I won,
Sam
thank you.
competed in the bad board game covers bracket of it was like this tournament, basically, this big tournament, and they made it to the very end of the losers bracket.
Yeah, we were losers,
and Jeff beat her in the losers bracket.
Yeah, I got every favor that I possibly could.
I mean, I honestly went to every member of the Gateway, and I was like, "Listen, here's our first
in your face.
Here's our first crusade. I'm sending you on."
Okay. Spangler.
Here's CP Wilson. This is Chris.
Yep.
Hey Ryan, your jokes are so funny. To yourself. It's sad at how much you laugh at your own jokes.
Oh, Chris.
He's not laughing now.
Should we stop this segment? I think we only have one more each.
Well, that wasn't a joke. That's why I didn't laugh at it.
It wasn't your joke.
It wasn't my joke.
Oh, man, I'm scared. My last one's from Jerry from the Board Games Snobs. It says the Board Gamer Snobs.
Oh, all right.
Mine just says, parentheses, snobs.
Yeah.
I had to listen to 3 episodes before I realized Natalie was a real person and not Jeff speaking in a high-pitched voice. Still not sure.
Still not sure.
Okay, for all of you mean people out there, this is how they're supposed to go. That was a perfect one.
That was a good one. And same thing with this one. Jerry also had a good one. So Jerry said, Jeff's back's hurting from carrying the show. Just kidding. Jeff can't even carry a conversation, much less a podcast. Good one.
All right, my last one is from Sam, Miss French Toast.
This one's great.
Ryan James can't deliver a package to the post office or a good joke on the show. I think it's safe to assume he can't deliver in the bedroom. Good night, everybody.
Oh, man. So that's it. That's the Gamecasters beatdown.
That wasn't as bad as I thought.
For you?
Yeah, Natalie's was like
40% of yours were for me.
Yeah. Natalie's was like, Natalie, why'd you marry Ryan? And you're like, oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Oh, that's pretty good. Like, Natalie, you're really quiet. Natalie, you gotta listen to Ryan. I like Miss French Toast.
Natalie, you're really pretty. Natalie, oh, you're so pretty.
You're really pretty. Why'd you marry Ryan?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I know, they're mean.
That makes this next thing I'm about to do a little bit worse for me. No, that was really good.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Funny.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
We know... hope that was all rooted in love, and
maybe
we asked for it. It was Jeff's idea, though. I'll tell you that. It was a good one, and I hope in the next 50 episodes we'll do it again because we were feeling a little too awesome about ourselves.
Yep, it made us laugh.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna slow it down a little bit as I take you on a journey.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Should we get out our lighters?
No,
no,
that's dangerous.
It's a fire hazard.
No, I want to. Okay. Okay. The song is called I Will Always Play Games With You.
Oh.
If you just hit play, it would mean that it's episode 50. So I hope that you'll go and please download everyone along the way. And I really hope you do. If not, I'll have to go number 2. And it'll have to be right on you.
Oh my God.
You on Chud Munson too. Disgusting memories. Like failed condoms and Natalie farting. But I just love to annoy and not be serious. But above all this, I wish we were number 1. So I'm gonna have to get nude. I will do what I need to do. Oh, but it's really humiliating too. But it's all for you. It's all for for you. Thank you.
Beautiful,
Thank you. That was I will always play games with you.
Yep. So put your clothes on so we can finish the episode.
A couple things I want to say about that.
Let's hear 0 of them. So we have even more content for you on today's game of the episode. Sit back and get ready for a crossover as the Gamecasters take on the Being Friends crew in an all-out feud designed for families. Hey there, everybody. So one thing I need to caveat this upcoming recording with is we didn't get to use the best audio source, so this is the Zoom call, and you'll notice the audio is just not quite as crisp and awesome as you're used to from us. So basically, the worst part of it is there is a lot of times where we do these uproarious kind of screams, and Zoom apparently must cut off the scream audio after a while, so it sounds really weird and just abruptly ends. Other than that, hopefully this is still awesome for you guys, and we hope you have fun. Okay, on with the show.
Da 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 da.
Hello, gamers and gamettes, and welcome to the Family Feud, Gamecasters edition. We are here with the gang from the incredible gaming YouTube channel, Being Friends.
Yeah.
And they are competing, heck yeah, hello, against the Gamecasters family. To anyone who hasn't seen Family Feud, please go find the nearest mirror, stand in front of it, and repeat after me. What the bro? How do you not know Family Feud? To everyone else, here we go. So we're going to have a few rounds, and at the end, we'll do fast money. We'll have a chance to win glory and bragging rights for the next 60 millennia.
Because we have no other prizes.
That's the only prize we have is just bragging rights.
For that long, though.
So what's up, guys? We're happy to have you on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. It's really cool to be a part. We're super excited.
Yeah, thank you. Us too. We loved your YouTube channel. Your Instagram is also awesome, and it's just really cool that we were able to get you guys on.
We're super excited. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, let's do this. All right. Without further ado, I need Natalie. I need Evan. Here we go.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Everybody knows how Family Feud works. I'll give you just a quick little rundown before we start. So basically, I'm going to ask Natalie and Evan a question here. We asked 300 people.
Yeah, 6 people.
A question. They are going to. So I got the top 8 answers for this question. Natalie and Evan are going to buzz in when they think they know, maybe an answer. And if Natalie guesses and she gets the third answer, and Evan guesses he gets the second or the first, Evan's team, the Being Friends team, will have a chance to either pass or play, at which point they will guess as many answers as they can. They'll get 3 strikes. As soon as they hit their third strike, if they haven't gotten them all, Team Gamecasters will get a chance to steal. And if they steal, they get all the points. Right? Something like that.
That's not what happens.
Something like that.
That's exactly how it goes? Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. All right, Natalie, Evan, here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, we got the top 8 answers on the board. We asked 300 people the following question.
I can't believe you asked 300 people. Sorry.
Which is the most popular gateway game?
Bzz.
Oh, Team Being Friends.
Heck yeah.
All right. Okay.
Evan, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride is the number 1 answer.
That's not what
Yeah.
Being Friends, would you like to pass or play?
I think we're going to play. He said,
All right.
He said it. Well, I guess it's up to you. We're going to play it. We're going to play it.
Okay. All right, let me notate that you got. Okay, so we go to Jacob then next. Jacob, what is the most popular gateway game, my friend?
I think this one's really obvious.
Okay. Catan is the number 5 answer. But yes, correct. Sir, I forgot to do survey says.
Oh, right.
Ding.
Number 5. Alex, what do you got?
This is a game people play a lot growing up, I think, and that's going to be Monopoly.
Monopoly. Okay, survey says.
Oh! Dude, these are How many?
All right, 1 strike.
We can talk. Can we talk at 2 strikes?
All right, Nathan. Nathan, you're up, man. What is the most popular gateway game?
Okay. Catan and Ticket to Ride are gone. So how about Munchkin?
Munchkin. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Survey says.
Crap.
All right. Team Gamecasters, get ready to steal.
Yeah.
All right, we go back to Evan. Evan, what do you got for me, man? 8-way game.
I'm blanking. I don't know. Oh, Carcassonne.
Carcassonne. Okay, Carcassonne.
Good answer.
Survey says, ding! Number 4 answer, Carcassonne.
Hey, yeah.
You're still alive.
Come on, Jacob.
Okay.
All right, Jacob. You got something for me?
Never played this game before, but I hear a ton about it. Dominion?
Dominion. I like that.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, let's go to the survey. The survey says,
that's good.
all right, we're going to Team Gamecasters. What are you guys going for?
Can we allowed to talk? Right?
Yeah, you get like a quick second to say what you think. All right, do we have an answer?
Natalie? You're in the front. Natalie, if we were in the podium, you'd be in the front.
Natalie. That's Natalie. What are you going to say for your team? You got to pick.
You, Natalie.
Okay, Azul.
Azul.
Nice. Yeah.
The survey says. Number 2 is Azul.
Yeah, that was going to be
Makes sense.
All right.
I would like to meet the people that you asked these questions to, because I think they had a great gateway experience in board games.
Yeah, that's true. We were going to say on Mars, but we were a little.
Well, I felt bad because real quick story. When I reached out to Being Friends and I was like, "Hey, you guys, I sent an email, and we're doing Family Feud," and I can't remember. Alex, is that who was responding to me, or Evan?
Probably Evan.
It was like, "Oh yes, my dream to be a part of the survey," and I was like, "Well, you're going to hate the next thing I have to say because I want you as a contestant."
Well, I'm very upset.
I felt bad. Well, I sent you the email, and I was like, "Wait, I can't send the email to the people I'm trying to actually get the thing from."
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through the rest of them quickly. Number 3, third answer was 7 Wonders.
Okay.
7 Wonders. And we're gonna do the classic Family Feud thing where the whole crowd says,
the whole audience, together. Yeah. You got number 4 is Carcassonne. You got number 5, Settlers of Catan. Number 6, King of Tokyo.
King of Tokyo.
Number 7, Pandemic. And number 8, Elizabeth Hargrave's Wingspan.
Okay. Wingspan. Good choice. Good work with the
All right, so
I am jealous of these guys' gateway experience.
Yeah.
It was fine, but like
mine was Ticket to Ride.
Nice. There you go.
All right, so the Gamecasters.
So Ghost Stories. Yes, Splendor was yours.
You get all those points. So you get 20, 25, 27, 28 points so far to Team Gamecasters.
Pretty good.
All right.
Ooh, people love that game.
Okay, I need Jeff. I need Jacob. Here we go for round 2. Woo! Woo! All right. Top 6 answers on the board.
How many people did you say?
We asked 8 million people. Which is the most popular game designer?
Ding.
I think it was.
I think so.
All right, Team Being Friends.
And I think their video's slightly behind, so that was like
okay.
It gave him the 1 second. I think
he was pretty fast.
What do you got?
Jamie Stegmaier.
Ooh.
Okay, Jamie Stegmaier. Ding, as the number 4 answer.
Okay.
Jeff, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Stefan Feld.
Stefan Feld is the number 3 answer. Gamecaster.
Guys, you want to play? You want to play? You want to play? Okay, we're gonna play. We're gonna play, Brian.
We're gonna play.
We're gonna play.
All right,
we're gonna play.
All right.
We're gonna play.
Yeah, hey, we got 3 X's.
We got 3 X's. So we have 2 of 6 or 5. So
you got
Dave,
2 of 6. So there's 4 left. So Dave, who is the most popular game designer?
Just say Dave, name a game.
Yeah, do that. Just name one.
Name a game designer, man.
You just said Elizabeth Hargrave.
There you go. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, Elizabeth Hargrave. Survey says. All right, Natalie, we're coming to you. Yeah, we got one. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, Natalie, what do you think?
Uwe Rosenberg.
Uwe Rosenberg as the most popular game designer.
He's not popular.
The most popular?
Good answer.
Are you sure? You want to go? Number 1 answer.
You gotcha.
He's only made.
You're mean.
There's 6 total. You've gotten 3 so far. All right.
He's an artist.
Yeah. I'm a game designer. Yeah. All right, Jeff. Who is the most popular game designer?
I'm gonna go with the hotness. I'm gonna go with Vital Lacerda.
Vital Lacerda. Survey says.
That's 2 ants.
That's 2 ants. Coming to Dave.
Coming to the 3rd.
All right, baby. You can do this, Dave. Who is the most popular game designer?
I don't.
I'm sorry. Name a game designer.
Yeah, name a game designer.
Get ready to steal, Team Being Friends.
Yeah, you guys gotta chat it up. Yeah, so you just wait and be like, "Oh, I was gonna say it."
That's true.
All right.
You should have just.
Sorry, it's okay.
Team Being Friends. Who do you got?
Okay, I think we're gonna go with Reiner Knizia.
Reiner Knizia. Good answer. Good answer. Yeah. The number 2 answer. And being friends has stolen.
Wow. Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, round 2 in Family Feud is double points. Is that right? Is that still the case?
No. 1 and 2 are single, and then a double and a triple. Isn't there 4 rounds?
There's 4 rounds.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Yep. First 2 are single, and then double points, and then triple at the end.
I like it.
Is that what you're
48 points you guys have.
Oh, good teamwork. This is also friends. The high fives. Yeah, the high fives.
What did I say? What did I just say? 40. How many did I just say?
And Bill Evers.
41?
48.
48.
All right.
Yeah. All right. We go to round 3. I need Dave. I need Alex.
Woo! On there.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I forgot. Wait, I got to give you the rest of the answers. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
You got the number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 5 was Bruno Cathala.
Really?
Bruno.
And number 6, barely newer, Alexander Pfister.
That was my next answer. I thought Vital was going to be on there. Yeah.
All right. So I need Dave. I need Alex. Top 5 answers on the board.
This is round doubled? Are we doing double, or are we just going straight through? What are we doing?
So this is the third. Yeah, we'll double this, triple the next one.
Okay.
All right. Top 5 answers on the board. We asked 5 people, what is the first thing you do when you get a brand new game? First thing you do. Oh, team being friends.
Unbox it.
Unbox it. Number 1 answer.
Okay.
Would you guys like to play or pass?
I'm trying to think of anything else you do.
4 answers?
There's 5. There's 5 answers.
I think we're going to play.
We're going to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to play it. Okay. All right. 4 more answers. What do we got? We're looking at, who are we looking for? We're looking for Nathan.
You gotta think. I got one.
I guess you put it on the shelf.
Oh, put it on the shelf. That's a good answer. Good answer.
Oh, that's happened to us before. Definitely, it's not a fun experience, but you're like, we have no one to play this with yet.
So it goes on the shelf. You don't even open it most times.
The spot.
Buy a new shelf.
All right, Nathan, what do you got for me? What do you do? The first thing you do when you open a brand new game?
Play it.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Play it. Good answer. Good answer.
Whoa! I'm okay.
Yeah.
No.
First thing. Maybe.
All right, Team Gamecasters, get ready to steal. All right, Evan, back to you.
It's actually Jacob.
Oh, is it Jacob's turn?
I went last.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Jacob, what do you got then?
Okay, this might be like 2, but I'm gonna say like read the rule books or learn the rules.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. Good answer.
Read the rule book, learn the rules. Unfortunately, that is the number 2 answer.
Okay. So we're in a good progression here. We've got
all right. So we're
the box.
Alex, I think. So there's 2. They have 2 buzzes. Okay. There's 3 more answers. Okay. And I think we're back to Alex, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. What do we got?
Organize the components.
Ooh. Organize the components.
That's a good answer.
All right. I might need to go to a judge's ruling here.
Oh,
who the judges?
Me. Let me real quick ask myself if I think that is the organize. I honestly think that's different. I'm gonna that one. I know. I think it's different.
Something close to that.
Well, yeah, it's close, but I don't think it's organized. So, Team Gamecasters, can you steal?
Like punch the components?
Yeah,
like just punch it.
Just you can just walk over it. Team Gamecasters, I need an answer. Team
right,
Gamecasters,
Natalie, it's on you. It's on you.
Punch it.
Punch. How many punches are there? Punch. Sonora, shake the party line. All right, you're saying punch it?
Like unbag and punch. Like
punch it.
Unbag?
No.
Bag it, then you unbag it.
Then you punch it.
Like
then you unbag
it and like
you rebag
take
it.
Everything out.
Punch it.
Well, just say one thing. You're punching. Okay, punch it. Wow, sorry about this, team friends. All right, punch it. Okay, survey says number 3.
Oh, it's okay.
All right,
is that the one that you thought was like?
Okay, so number 4 was take a picture.
Ooh,
all the Instagrammers.
And number 5 was smell it.
Oh, I was jokingly thinking that.
That's what he does. He literally takes the box off, opens it, smells it.
Ryan did say they only interviewed 5 people. He could have been one.
That is probably
so with double score. That's 52 points to the Gamecasters.
Oh, man, nice.
Down to this triple point round.
I want to know who else said smell it.
I'll tell you after we're off air. So that's 80 points to 48. But this is the triple.
This is for all
bonus features. This is for everything.
It's a bad game design.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm going to need Natalie and Nathan.
Come on.
Top
Natalie.
6 answers on the board. We asked no people. Name a type of gun that doesn't shoot bullets.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I heard. I'm going to go being friends because of the delay. Team being friends. What do you got? A gun that doesn't shoot bullets.
Laser gun.
A laser gun.
No.
All right, Natalie, it's up to you.
You got it.
One that doesn't shoot bullets. Paintball gun.
A paintball gun. Number 5 answer.
Oh.
Do you want to play or pass? There's 6 answers on the board. Well, there's 5 left.
Everyone plays on Family Feud.
It's like
play.
It's like can't stop. All right, you're playing. Okay. All right. Jeff, name a gun, a type of gun that doesn't shoot bullets.
I'm gonna say Nerf gun.
A Nerf gun.
Hey.
Nerf
A Nerf gun. Okay, a Nerf gun.
This is not game related.
Survey says number 3 answer.
Oh, okay.
That was a good one.
All right, Dave, a gun that does not shoot bullets.
I'm gonna say a nail gun.
Ooh.
A nail gun. A nail gun.
Handyman Dave.
Was this Al Portland?
Yeah.
Survey says number 6 answer.
Yeah.
Nail gun.
They got it.
All right, there's 3 left, Natalie.
You got it.
I don't know. Did you say I don't know anything about guns?
I don't know anything about guns.
I don't know anymore.
Oh, there's no more.
Okay. A gun that doesn't shoot bullets.
Yep.
Potato gun.
Oh, okay.
Is that a thing?
Potato
Okay.
gun. A potato gun is a thing. Yes. Wow. Survey says. That is a thing, though.
I know.
Jeff, you know another type of gun
I'm gonna say
that doesn't shoot bullets.
squirt gun.
A squirt gun.
Like a water gun. Like a water gun, squirt gun, water gun.
Okay.
Water
Squirt
gun.
gun. Good answer.
Okay.
Good answer. Number 1.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm
We
glad
have
you didn't
2
because I didn't have
answers
an
left.
answer.
And we have one. We have one so far.
One ant.
Dave, I need a type of gun that does not shoot
Can you
bullets.
tell us what we have again? We have squirt.
Yeah, we've got squirt gun,
paint.
we have Nerf gun, we have paintball gun, and we have nail gun.
Okay.
Home improvement Dave is gonna go with glue gun.
A glue gun.
Ooh, a hot glue gun.
A glue gun. Good answer.
Good
Good
answer.
answer. Survey says number 4 answer.
Wow.
Glue gun.
Come on, Nate.
One more, Natalie. You got
I
one.
have an idea, but I feel like it's
You still got a free
One ant.
Yeah.
And then you'll bring it back to me. That's hard.
All right, Natalie, I need a
Glue
type
gun,
of gun that
that's
does not shoot bullets.
a t-shirt gun.
A t-shirt gun.
Oh, that's a good
answer.
answer.
That's a good answer. Yeah. Thump. Survey. Thump. All right. Team being friends, get ready to steal. We have 2 A's. Jeff, can you think of a type of gun that doesn't shoot bullets?
Do you guys have something? I'm gonna go with one of those marshmallow shooters. Marshmallow gun.
Marshmallow shooter. A marshmallow gun. Okay. Okay.
It's not up there.
Good answer. Good answer. No one's doing an
No,
answer.
I'm not gonna do it.
All right. That
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
team being
Good.
friends. It all comes down to this.
All right. We're going to go with airsoft gun.
An airsoft gun.
That's it.
Oh,
Well,
Jeff. Poor
Goodbye,
Jeff.
everyone.
Survey says. Oh! Team Gamecasters is the winner.
You
So,
take it.
number 2,
Oh, a cap gun.
staple gun.
That was the first thing I thought, but
Oh man,
coerced.
I thought airsoft gun was it. That was a
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
That was a good one. That so
they're
squirt gun, staple gun, Nerf gun, glue gun, paintball gun, nail gun. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Okay. Oops, what am I doing?
I don't know.
I didn't turn you guys off, did I? Hello?
No, we're good.
You're still sexually attracted to us?
I wasn't going to say
All right, so the
'Cause they're
Gamecasters
turned
win
on.
with 100
Yeah.
and something.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, you guys got to stick around for fast money.
Oh, yeah, we
You
are.
gotta, at least you got to see what's going on. All right, so I need 2 people from the Gamecasters to play fast money. Who are we going to get?
Handyman Dave.
The 2 people from the Gamecasters.
You want to go first or second? Okay.
First, Jeff, I need you to go upstairs.
Son of a. Bye, guys.
Don't listen.
Yeah, go.
Put funny headphones on and stand in a car.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to have another camera showing him. So, Dave, do you have your phone? Can you do a timer? So, how long do we get for this? 30 seconds? Or no, it's like 25 seconds.
I think it's 25, and then the second person gets 30 because they could guess the same
Right.
answer.
Right.
Right. All right. 20. So, all right. 25 seconds you're going to have, Natalie. Are you ready for this? Let me know, Dave, when you have the timer. Oh, yeah. There's 5 questions.
Oh, only 5? Okay. That's
And then Jeff's going to get the same 5. On your mark. Get set. Here we go. Name a famous wizard.
Dumbledore.
Okay. Name a reason people don't play games as often as they'd like.
They don't have time.
Name a popular gaming mechanism.
Worker placement.
Name a common gaming component.
A meeple.
What is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
Go to the bathroom.
Ding, 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 ding. Right, that's the end. Okay.
That was some stellar answers. One after the other.
Now we're going to show your score. Right? Okay. So I said, name a famous wizard. You said Dumbledore.
So I said Harry.
That scores 10 points.
Oh.
I'm trying to get to 200, remember?
Oh, 1/20th. That's not bad.
All right. Name a reason people don't play games as often as they'd like. You said no time. Survey said 0 points.
What are the reasons? Really? Someone has all the time in the world. I don't know.
Name a popular gaming mechanism. You said worker placement. 36 points.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
So you're at 46.
Yeah.
Name a common gaming component. You said Meeple. Survey said 23 points.
Good answer.
Okay, all right.
And then what is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? You said go to the bathroom. 18 points.
Pretty good.
Does anyone have a score for that? You want to add them up real quick?
87.
All right, Jeff's got his work cut out for him. You want to go get him? Yeah. You don't have to stay up there, by the way. He'll get 30 seconds, right? Yeah, because if he guesses the same,
he gets to pick
another one, right? Mm-hmm. Jeff, the mad board gamer.
Does he get to know how many points?
Yeah. So Jeff, Natalie got you 86 points. 87 points. I'm sorry.
200.
Yep. You only need 113.
200 more.
113 points to get you over the hump here. Are you ready?
Okay. I get more time.
You're gonna have 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Are you ready? On your marks. Get set. Go. Jeff, name a famous wizard.
Gandalf. He's a wizard.
Name a reason people don't play games as often as they'd like.
Not enough time.
Name a yeah.
Oh, like do it again?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have a group. Like wife doesn't like it. Okay.
Name a popular gaming mechanism.
Worker placement. Engine builder.
Okay. Name a common gaming component.
Dice.
What is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
Pee. Brush my teeth.
All right.
What if your bathroom was telling you that?
You said
you can't go pee.
When I said gaming mechanism, what was the second thing you said?
It's an engine builder.
Engine builder. Okay.
I love that you clarified. He's a wizard. Gandalf.
He's a wizard.
Right?
In my own head was like,
I swear. All right, here we go. Name a famous wizard. Jeff, you said Gandalf. That's good for 46 points.
Whoa. The wizard.
That was the number one answer.
He's the wizard. Yeah.
Harry Potter was the number 3 answer.
What did you say?
22 points. She said Dumbledore.
Oh.
That was the number 4 answer with 10 points. Merlin was our number 2 answer.
Merlin.
The reason people don't play games as often as you like. Jeff, you said nobody to play with. That scores 12 points.
Okay.
The number 1 answer was work.
Yeah.
The number 2 answer was kids. And the number 3 answer was COVID.
What did you say?
She said time.
Oh, I said that
you said
too.
first, but that wasn't on there. That wasn't even on there.
Oh, yeah.
Name a popular gaming mechanism. You said engine builder. Survey said on that one. I know.
I'd love to hear.
The number 1 answer was worker placement.
Okay.
The number 2 answer was card drafting.
Interesting.
And then area control and deck building.
The thing is, like, people play. All you play is engine building. Like the intro games are like engine. Never mind.
Name a common gaming component. 25 points. Jeff with the number 1 answer in dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dice was 25. Meeple 23. Cards was 18.
Wow.
And then the first thing you do when you get up in the morning, Natalie had the number 1 answer with P, which was where she said go to the bathroom. It was 18 points.
I didn't say P.
Jeff, you said brush your teeth, and that's 9 points.
Oh.
How close were we?
We got 179.
179. Still.
25-9.
46, 12, 20. Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, at least they didn't win either, right? Being friends.
Yeah. There you go. We're all losers.
We're all losers.
That was the Gamecasters' first edition of the Family Feud. I want to thank Alex and Evan and Nathan and Jacob for coming on the show and competing with us. Thank you guys so much. That was such a blast.
I'm so glad. This was so fun, guys.
Yeah, we had a great time. If we do it again, we got to call on you, team being friends.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, and we will see you next time on the Family Feud. Well, that was awesome. That was so fun. Thank you so much to Being Friends for joining us with that. We had like the best time, as you hopefully heard just a few minutes ago. It was really awesome. So, as today is our 50th episode, we're going to do a special list of our games that we ranked on Pub Meeple's rankings website that were in the 50s spot. Natalie came up with this, so if you hate it, send all the hate mail to me, because you hate me. No matter what Natalie does, it's coming back to me. So we're going to go through our number 50 to 59 ranked games of all time.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Righto. Natalie, why don't you start us off? What is your number 59?
Are we gonna go 59 to 50?
Let's go 59 to 50.
Yeah.
Let's go
59
to 50. What is your number 59er?
Okay, well, we did these rankings back in like May or sometime in the spring, so this is as of them. So may or may
as
not
of them,
include,
eh?
As of then, they may or may not
Main man.
include like whatever. I'll just shut up. Here we go. 59.
No, keep talking. I want you
My
say your list.
59 ranked game is Yellow and Yanksy.
Oh, baby. Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say because like
because it's your 59.
It's just like a computer generated list that I.
Wait a minute. No, you made it.
I know, but like. I'm not like, well, I specifically chose this for 59 because, you know, that's just
the one flaw with this list.
Yeah.
It's really 10 games
it's just there.
that we like.
So, yeah.
In the 50s.
Seems about right. Yellow and Yanks. Yeah, I liked it, but it wasn't like, you know.
Do you remember that picture we took after we played it? All three of you, Andrew and Cheyenne, are just like,
yeah.
I was scheming. I like how anytime Ryan wins, he must have schemed his way to victory.
He schemed his way.
Anyone else wins is like, yeah, I did a good job with strategy. Ryan, he's scheming you. It's the only way we can justify his win. Jeff, what is your number 59?
My number 59.
When you're complimenting.
Should I say something before this?
Oh, yeah, you have
I feel like
to.
when you look at this list, it's like anywhere between 40 and 80 are like the same game to me. Or the same
50 to 59.
Yeah, so 50. Yeah. This is way better. 59 is Bonanza.
Oh,
Bonanza.
Really?
I love Bonanza, so you know, in my head, I feel like it's one of my favorites. But again, there's so many games that I just love.
Yeah, that seems low, but I agree with you.
Still, I've played
a lot of these games are
hundreds and hundreds of games.
Yeah.
And it's number 59.
That's
so
high.
Bonanza is my 59th ranked game.
Fantastical game. My number 59 is a game that I originally found. I honestly remember where I was when I texted you telling you to buy this game. I remember this. I was looking at Jeff, by the way. And this game is a great game to play in the car, and it's called Dark Stories.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yep.
And it is. I remember when I found it, it just kind of blew me away.
Yeah.
Right.
We've had some good times with that game. There was one time
at
work.
Oh.
No, at work.
Oh, and the power went out.
The power went out at work, and we couldn't work for.
So we
and
all
they made us stay there for
banged each
hours.
other.
So we all just like sat
Playing
around
Dark
the cube
Stories in
playing
the dark?
Stories.
In the dark.
it was
And then we got yelled at by the
awesome.
president. It was cool.
Because they were having a board meeting in the dark. They could hear us.
Crazy. All right, Natalie, what's your number 58?
My number 58 is a game that Ryan loves, and it's probably in his
see.
top 20.
Doubt it.
And it's called Belfort.
That's true. Top 10.
Top 10 even.
Actually,
I wasn't sure.
I think it might be. That might be top 5.
Yeah, Belfort's it's a
Belfort's very high
it's a
up.
very good game.
That's a good game.
That's all.
That's nice. Jeff, what about you, man? What's 58?
58 is a game I would love to play more because it would go up. This game is called This War of Mine.
Oh, yeah.
58.
Right.
You can only play it maybe a couple times because it's just so sad and depressing.
Oh, does it really?
But the game
You feel
is
the theme, huh?
awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a Steam game turned into a board game and done very, very, very well.
Oh, it was a video game first. That's right.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't do video game board games well.
Yeah.
This is one that got that right.
Did you play the video game?
Yeah, I played it. I've out like lots of hours.
I feel like
logged on that
I'm
game.
having deja vu. I think this exact conversation happened before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. My number 8 is a game that notoriously, at least in our group, had a horrible name change. And Jeff and I found this at Gen Con 2 years ago now. And this is called Chaosmos. And then immediately after we bought it, it had its name changed to Cosmic Factory because there was another game called Chaosmos, and they made them change it. So this is a King Clanko design. It's got a very cool real-time tiling mechanism that we just all love in this group. So
Yeah,
that's
it's a great
number 58, Chaosmos.
great fun.
Yeah. Natalie, what about you? What's your 57?
My number 57 is The City.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that's a fun game. I just played it for the first time.
Probably at Nerdfest?
This year? No, we played with Brian and Heather.
First?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first time I ever played it. It wasn't, I mean, it was within the last year, but you've been talking about it for years,
Yeah.
and I just never played
I remember
it.
I played with you at Nerdfest then.
Yeah, I played it. I really liked it too.
It was a fun game. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's cool. It's a good one. Nice. Jeff, what's number 57, man?
My number 57 is Roll for the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah, I played that one time with you.
I really liked.
That was a good
like
game.
it as well. It's hard to, we're sitting in the 50th and you're like, oh, you like 50 games? Like, yeah, but these are good games.
Yeah.
No, this is really good. Like you
50
just
is
said a minute
actually
ago,
decent-
hundreds of
yeah.
games. We're still in the top tier.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Roll for the Galaxy is a great game. They also have Race for the Galaxy, and I'm sure they're going to make some Roll
We
and
played
Write
that
eventually.
one time. I remember I was very confused in that game.
I like roll a lot better than...
Yeah, it was more fun, at least in the one play I had. My number 57 is a kind of a, not a re-implementation, but I guess a re-implementation of another game that I love called Terra Mystica, and this game is called Gaia Project.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically Terra Mystica in space.
I'm surprised it's that low.
I love it. I mean, 57 is pretty high. I love the game, but honestly, Terra Mystica for me is almost perfect. Of a game. It's like it's right below Star Wars Destiny on my overall, right? It's like almost perfect. And so Gaia Project, what it does, it takes the same game and it makes it a little more complex, and that just throws it off a little bit for me. But like we were saying, 57 is still really good.
Yeah, these are all games that I like.
Yeah, so how about Gaia Project's like that's people's favorite game.
Yeah, right.
Like people would be like, that's the best game
number
ever.
one for sure. And I do love it. It's really good. What about 56?
56.
Tangatronics.
I got Watergate.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, apparently I really liked it.
I remember you liked it after we played it.
Yeah, I remember I liked it.
You wanted to play it right after the first game was over.
Okay,
you were like, let's play it again. Yeah, we should play it again for sure. All right, Jeff, what about you, man? 56.
My number 56 is one of my favorite easy, light engine building games called Gizmos.
Oh, yeah.
I like Gizmos. Cool, like, design. It's got this cool little...
Yeah, that marble.
Almost like...
dispenser.
Yeah, dispenser of marbles coming out. And yeah, it's a cool engine builder. I really like all the... ramps up really quick. At first you're just picking one thing, and then all of a sudden you pick 6 marbles on your turn. It's a cool game.
The tactile feel of marbles is just awesome too.
Yeah, so the game looks
Handling
great.
marbles is really fun.
It is.
My number 56 is at one time this was my favorite filler game of all time, and it's called a little card game called No Thanks.
Great game.
Love this game. Natalie hates it, which is why it doesn't ever get played.
So awesome.
I know, and she's like the only person that doesn't like it.
You want to play this? And I'm like, no thanks.
Ooh, and then Ryan's like,
I'm like, that's not funny anymore. Yeah, so that's my number 56. Languishing in the 50s, the mid 50s is No Thanks. Natalie, what about you? What is 55?
My mid 55 is Everdell.
Okay, nice.
So I mean, a lot of people really like
our last
that game.
play of it dropped.
Yeah,
it
I know
for
it.
us.
Yeah, it kind of dropped
you guys.
from the last play. It's a beautiful game,
Yeah,
but
is.
the game part of it is, I like it, but I'd say it deserves to be around 55.
Yeah, in the first play that we had of it, I thought we were like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then our last play, we were just kind of like, almost like we felt like it wasn't, I don't know, we couldn't get a good thing of resources going. Everything felt so hard. And that, for some reason, that just kind of like sapped the fun factor a little bit for us. Jeff, what is your number 55?
55 is, I have a couple games in here I've played once, which is evident of how much I probably liked the game after the first one.
Yeah, I think it's all the way up there.
My number 55 is Gugong.
Awesome.
Ooh, that's a good
Which
one.
I'm really looking forward to playing again. I'm looking forward to playing the new one with the expansion.
When's the new one coming?
Soon.
Soonish.
Very soon. I knew you were going to like that game because Jeff loves Trajan. That's probably in your top 20.
Yeah, probably top 10.
Maybe top 10. Jeff loves Trajan. And Gugong is not Trajan, but it's got that similar... I love little mini games.
Yeah, the card
like
play instead of, Trajan has that Roncalla and Gugong has the card play, which I think is unique and cool.
I haven't seen any other game do that.
Yeah.
Trading cards, taking action. That's cool. My number 55 is a game kind of very similar to Chaosmos. And honestly, this kind of replaced Chaosmos for a while when I got it. And it's an Oink game called Nine Tiles Panic. And it's almost the same type of game as Chaosmos or Cosmic Encounter. Or not Cosmic Encounter. Galaxy Trucker.
Oh.
And... where you're basically just real time laying tiles. Nine Tiles Panic is just so easy to set. It's just so much easier to get out to the table, even though Chaosmos is still really easy to get out. That's my number 55. Natalie, what about you for 54?
54 is a game we all love called Codenames.
Baby. Wow, mine's much higher, I think.
It is?
Yeah. I think mine's almost in my top 10.
See, I think mine is much lower.
Really?
For how much I love it, I don't want to play it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we played it a ton.
Yeah.
And I'm
for whatever reason, I don't get sick of it. I think it's a word game thing. I love word games.
I get that, but I think because
well.
of this list, I was like, the way I was doing it was what would you rather play like right now? And Codenames is, you got to have it's like a party game, and it's got to have a group, and I love this game, but it's not something that just gets played anytime.
Codenames Duet's probably a lot higher for you.
Yeah, I think it is. And they are on here separately.
Okay, cool. Jeff, what about you, man? What's 54?
54 is... I have a couple Call to the News here that I've just played. Number 54 is Pendulum.
Wow. Oh,
yeah.
Man, I'm kind of bummed we didn't. Wish we'd have played that instead of Mariposas.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying seeing where that game goes. If, like we talked about on the last episode,
if it
samey.
Yeah.
then
well, that's a callback.
Yeah.
Then I see it going up, but I think it needs to get more to it to maybe push itself even higher.
Awesome.
So.
Okay. My number 54 is a game by a designer who is 50-50 for me right now, and it's Elizabeth Hargrave's Wingspan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I really enjoy Wingspan. Wingspan is it's one that every time I play it, I have a great time. For some reason, I never want to reach and play it. Yeah, I feel like I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never really just seem to reach for it. But if it's there and I'm there to play it, I will have a good time. So that's my number 54. What is 53 for you?
53 for me is Azul Summer Pavilion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good one.
That game
I want to play that again too.
Do you think is that higher than the other Azuls?
Yeah, good question.
Yes.
Okay, so that's your
that is
favorite.
my favorite
one.
Azul,
And yours is the second one?
I think the second one is the hardest
played.
of the three, the most thinky.
Yeah.
But man, like the standard Azul will just get played more because it's standard
Yeah.
Azul. But, so I don't know how to rank those sometimes.
Yeah. I feel
just
like
consider
this
them
one's
one
like
big
one
game.
This one's a little more complex, a little more challenging than
the
regular
original.
Azul, but it's hard, but it's like fun trying to like figure it out.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I like it too.
this game a lot.
Awesome. All right, Jeff, 53, man.
53 will probably go up with future plays. I played it once with you guys. It's called CO2.
Ooh, baby.
CO2
That's a good
53.
one.
Oh, you didn't play it with us at Nerdfest? Though.
No, I didn't. So I've only played it once.
I thought we played it twice. Yeah, it was Joe and
And
Brian. That's right.
When we played it, I loved it, and now since I haven't played it recently, it's kind of ticked
falls down,
down
of course.
because of it. So
we
yeah,
played it here at
Yep.
our house.
I remember it was a great play.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That game is so good.
It's so good.
My number 53 is a game I've played 2 times, and I know if I played this more, it would go up. It's on our whiteboard right now, and it is by Natalie's boy, and it is Maracaibo.
Oh, cool.
I loved that. Played it with Natalie once.
Yep.
And me and Jeff played it once over at his place, and both plays were fantastic for me. It's
a great game.
And you guys like that game too, I
Yeah,
think. So
for sure.
Awesome.
That's why
Jeff
it's
loved it
on the
because it has
list to
metal
play
coins.
Yeah, man, those
And,
metal coins.
Yeah, those metal coins are so sweet. All right, Natalie, what's 52?
52 for me is the Unlock games.
Okay.
Okay.
I think Exit is higher on the list.
Sure.
But I really enjoy the Unlock games too.
Yeah, me too.
I know they're a little bit like less frustrating than Exit because they're not as like they're a little more straightforward, I guess. In comparison, but the Exit ones have so many more like cool moments when you get
the Exit ones have cooler moments. Although the newer unlocks seem to have kind of stepped it up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They
The
make
latest
the
one
only
we
thing
played
about
was
those games
cool.
is they have a tendency to make me feel like the biggest idiot.
Yeah.
If you get stuck.
Right. I just think it's so fun.
It is fun. We need to play those we need to
other
add like a
people.
Jeff in there
Yeah.
so he can smarten us up a little bit.
Be like, "Come on,
me
guys,
and you,
here- the
me
thing's
and Natalie
right
have the
here."
same brain. I feel
Yeah.
like, and so we need another
Yeah,
brain
you need a
in
third.
there. But fantastic, Jeff. 52, man.
52 is a game about Peppas called Scoville.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, Scoville
I
I
played that
really
one
like.
time. That
It's
was
a
a
fun
cool
game.
game.
I played
Yeah,
that too.
I played it a few times. The expansion is really great. Adds
The
some
little
more.
one, right?
Yeah, it's just
I like
labs.
that expansion. We
yeah,
played
you
that
just
too.
can add peppers to your own part instead of the board as well.
It doesn't change much.
And it's like a very cool game. Like
it's a hot game.
Pepper meeples.
Yeah, the peoples.
Yeah, the people. Yeah, they're
The
pepper
peeples?
meeples, and you walk your little. So the production quality is great. It's a TMG game, so of course,
Yeah,
it's
of
gonna be
course it's great.
So
Of course it's great. All right, number 52 for me. Number 52 is The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9, which I think if I redid my Pub Meeple rankings, it might go up a little bit
Yeah,
because
we played it a
we have
bunch
been
since
playing it a
then.
ton. My copy now looks played.
It does.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yes.
the
So
white
shuffling
edges
the
of the cards look, Natalie's got really dirty hands, and so when she shuffles them, they just get real dirty. Or maybe it's just the residual farts because she puts her hands under her butt when she farts.
yeah, the cards did smell when we played
they
them
smell
yesterday.
really
I
weird.
thought.
Yeah, I
we
thought so
played
too.
it yesterday.
All right, yeah, if no one's going to roast you, I'm going to have to do it. So.
yeah.
All right,
roast me
Natalie,
every
what is your
day.
number 51?
It's my life. Okay, my 51 is Mansions of Madness.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's a fun game.
Why does that not feel sincere?
Yeah, that's a fun game.
I just don't know what to say about these
Yeah.
games. You know, everyone knows what Mansions of Madness is. It's a game on an app. And
No, well, it has an app, yeah.
It has an app and it has a map. Boom. That's all you got to know.
It has a map. Yeah, nice. All right, fine. She doesn't want to talk about that anymore, I guess. Jeff,
Yep.
what is 51?
My 51 I know is much higher on your list. I need to play it more. My first play was very good, but I'm hoping for better plays next. It's a game called Castel at 51.
Ooh, yeah.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
wanna
very
play
cool.
that again.
We got to get another play of that. You played it with the game group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dave
we
and
played
Bill
it with Dave and
it.
Mr. Measles.
Yeah.
Did they not like it as much?
Bill really liked it. Dave did not like it very much. So
Okay.
it was the experience. It wasn't soured at all.
No,
but,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it was like everything's always better
make
when
you
everyone's
hesitate
loving
to
it.
pull it
Yes.
out.
Our play was we all were like, oh, like kids in candy stores, all four of us, and so it made the experience better. Plus, we had the added bonus of being a Grand Con. I bought the game on a whim, learned it, and taught it. Right, it all happened, so it was all really cool. But still, very awesome pick. My number 51 is a little dice chucking game that I love so much. I know that we all really enjoy it, and it's called Las Vegas. Yeah. You're just rolling a bunch of dice, Yahtzee style, and that's the game. So, Natalie, what is your number 50?
Number 50.
Okay, I like that.
50th favorite game for the 50th episode.
And I mean, what a coinky dink. It's the best one on this list.
What a coinky dinky dink. What a coinky do.
I've only played it once, but I liked it a lot. We tried to play it.
Wait, what game is it? I missed it with my stupid song.
I didn't say it yet.
Oh, okay.
She didn't say it yet.
We tried to play it recently. And then we just didn't. And it's called Great Western Trail.
Oh, wow. That's sitting at number 50.
Yeah.
You did have a really good play.
There's a chance it could go up when we play it a second time.
Oh, it'll go up.
If we ever get to.
You just wait.
But yeah.
He did unkink his hose recently.
I did. My hose is unkinked and it will go up. All right, Jeff, what is number 50, man?
This might be called to the new because I filled out my thing yesterday today, and kind of was like slowly, I was like, oh, God, I keep going and keep going.
No,
my number 50 ended with Tekhenu.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wow, that's
is so cool.
Yeah,
How cool is that? Wow, man.
Hey, we just talked about Tekhenu on this episode.
That is so cool. So what's Tekhenu about? That's
Rewind
great.
and you'll hear.
All right. That's awesome, man. Number 50, huh? So my number 50 is another little dice chucking game that I probably like this a lot more than everybody else, but it's called Ilia Iacta Est.
You love
I
that
do
game.
love that game. That's a really cool, just little dice chucker that has a latrine, and that's really fun. And games that have toilets are cool.
Yeah.
Well, what am I going to do?
Tell them what it means, too.
Latrine?
It means nurturing mother. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it means the die is cast. That was one of our association stations. Maybe in the original
Dias
one.
Cast, but you call Alma Mater Nourishing Mother.
Because Nourishing Mother is more fun to say than Dias Cast. The Dias Cast is boring. Nourishing Mother is funny and it makes you mad. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everybody. Thank you for staying until the end of our 50th episode. It's because of you all that we keep doing what we're doing. You are the best and we love you more than we love our own dogs. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We have an incredibly barren BGG guild that Natalie refuses to join. So if you head on over there, we are Guild 3678. If you like the show, we'd love if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. All music for the show and every episode of the show was produced by Jeremy Pete. If you enjoyed it and want some of your own for your next project, please email us to discuss. So for Natalie, Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I am Ryan, and you have been listening to episode 50 of The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody. So now for anyone who actually listened this far in the episode, we have a special surprise for you. Post a story. What I want you to do is post a story on Instagram tagging Gamecasters and tagging Mad Board Gamer and say, I survived episode 50 of the Gamecasters. If you do that, post a story saying that, you will be entered into a drawing for a super secret giveaway. And this is you want to do this.
You will get good stuff.
You're going to get good stuff.
Yes. Yep.
And not even maybe just one stuff.
You might get
multiple stuffs. So there could be some cheating going on. So what we're going to do is right now, there's a password I'm going to have you. I'm going to ask you when I see your story, I'm going to ask you what the password is. Because, if you see someone else posted that story, you might post that story and be like, what's going on? So the password is Kraken Be Trippin'.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be Chud Munson this time.
Yeah.
All right, so Kraken Be Trippin'.
I'm going backwards. So either me or Jeff will message you and ask you for the password so we legitimately know you are entered into this drawing. Because, again, you want to be entered into this drawing. Yeah. There's good stuff. There's good stuff in here. The password again, Kraken Be Trippin'. Thank you so much for making it this far. You are the real person and people that we love. We'll see you next time. Good night.